Blank check with Griffin and David. Blank check with Griffin and David. Don't know what to say or to expect. All you need to know is that the name of the show is Blank Check.
Without even thinking about it, I used to be able to podcast. Now I'm trying to look inside myself and find out how I did it.
Oh.
There you go.
That's how we
What have
feel.
you seen inside?
Nothing good. It's a morass. Here's the thing.
A howling void.
So you tweeted yesterday in relation to when we're recording this, a photo of the young man from this movie.
That's right. His name is Tombo.
Tombo, who you think looks like me.
That's correct. A Tintin-looking motherfucker.
I was going to say Tintin.
Yeah.
But I would say he also looks a lot like both Griffin McElroy and Chris
like
Gethard.
Who looks like you?
Three people
With glasses.
Right, and similar hairstyles and a propensity for wearing striped shirts, boyish bodies. So then people on Twitter were like, yes, inevitable cast live action remake, yes, which I know is a joke, right?
Is it?
But when I just went to IMDb to look for the Kiki's Delivery Service,
there is a live action version.
There's a 2014
Japanese
live action remake.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? I mean, that's obviously because he didn't own the underlying rights to the book.
It's a book.
Right.
Yeah, anyone can take a swing, I guess.
Do we know anything about the quality of this live action remake?
My guess is it's low.
Low?
I don't know. Maybe it's amazing.
Maybe it's fine.
Yeah. Wait a second. It won Best Picture?
The Academy Awards? I mean, it just kind of looks like
retitled
trash.
Green Book in the United States?
I mean, look at it.
That looks like a video game.
It doesn't look
playing
great.
Yeah. We're watching the trailer. It's got a lot of... Yeah, this looks bad.
No.
We just got to the first shot of her on
her flying, and
on
they're
a
like,
broom. It
she's
looks bad.
flying!
They gave her a shadow.
6 inches off the ground!
Yeah.
So yeah, the definitive version I think remains 1989's Kiki's Delivery
So
Service.
the live action window is wide open for you.
Wide open.
Wide open.
I don't want to make a Kiki movie. I just want to make a Tombo spinoff. I want to acquire the rights to just
Tombo's fucking, helicopter plane bike service.
I love that. What's that movie about that weird kid who makes the flying
That one
thing?
movie?
Brewster McCloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, who that kid wears a red and white striped shirt, much like Tombo.
That's true.
I what I really wanted to here's what I'd love
court.
to. I'd love to acquire the rights to Tombo. Okay.
All right.
As a person.
And then I'd like to try to piece together the rights to make the Umbo cinematic universe. Trumbo versus Dumbo versus Dumbo.
Oh, I'm seeing
I
here.
am trying to write in my bathtub.
Yep, that was the clip.
And this elephant won't stop flying around me.
You getting those levels down there?
To say nothing of this boy and his bicycle, his propeller bicycle. I'm in the bath. This performance was nominated for an Academy Award.
Ben just slowly turning down the volume.
An Oscar in the bath.
An Oscar in the bath.
It was nominated for a Bathy. Best bathtub-based performance.
Yeah.
My cigarette is in a holder.
Yeah.
So you know I'm a man.
So you know it's from a while ago.
Yes.
Yeah. The Bathies. Remember when What Lies Beneath swept that one year? And what else have we got?
The Favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, The Favorite. Good bathtubs.
Good bathtub. Handmaiden.
yeah.
Great bathtub.
Ooh.
Sexy bathtub.
Yeah, the Bathies got kind of sexy.
Shanghai Noon.
Sure.
Their joint bath scene. Do you remember that?
Absolutely.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Pivotal bath.
Is it Batman versus Superman where like Superman gets
Yeah.
in the tub fully clothed and you're like, behave? What is
Yeah.
this behavior?
When
Like,
Superman and Lois Lane fuck in a bath.
yeah, but he's got his clothes on
Yeah.
and she's fully naked.
Yeah.
Awful.
Does it need to be a bathtub or can it be like a cave pool like in Wonder Woman? Does that count as a bath scene?
No, I think that would fall into the KVs. I mean,
Oh,
I think in
sure.
terms of
I'm sorry.
qualification.
I forgot about
But what about in Wanted when there's those sort of like old timey bathtubs that they take like healing baths in and you see Angelina Jolie's buttocks?
Well, if that counts, then Jupiter Ascending counts.
Oh, right. So sort of a healing, de-aging bath.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
We're stretching the definition here.
yeah, it's a good
The
question.
genre is dead, you know?
That is true. I mean, Wanted is elevated bullet bending assassin action.
They are.
That's a bathtub.
Yeah.
I know.
You know what?
That's like a clawfoot
in
bath.
my memory, I thought he was wearing the Superman suit. I thought he got in. Ben's showing David a picture. What is it?
The Road to Wellville.
Oh, that's a really bathy movie. Yeah. That, man, is that ever a Comedy Central 1 p.m. movie?
Mm-hmm. Yep, in the summer.
Yep. What was I going to say about the Bathies? Lock, Shock, and Barrel obviously split the supporting categories for Nightmare Before Christmas.
Gummo got a Lifetime Achievement.
Right. Now, Totoro has some bathing because the
Yeah.
family bathes. I don't think there's any bathing in Kiki.
No.
I don't think anyone takes a bath.
No, she gets bathed in money from this killer business.
Bathed in self-doubt.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Bathed in, sort of adolescent growing pains and moving to the big city anxieties.
I want to say this right off the bat. Good kid.
Kiki?
Yeah.
She's a
Best.
good kid.
Real
She's
good
the best.
kid.
Kiki? She's solid.
Ben.
All right, so let me set the scene, actually. Yeah, let's get this out. Right off the bat, I walk into the Audio Boom Studios. There's no one else here.
Summer Friday.
And I walk in, and who's on the couch outside the studio but
Producer
Benjamin Hosley.
Ben
Really?
Deucer, Purdue Ben. Poet laureate, the Haas. Peeper. Tiebreaker. Birthday Benny. Smoking hot. Smoking wet Benny.
Smoking wet Benny.
Soaking hot
Smoking wet
Benny.
Soaking hot Benny.
Yeah.
Smoking wet, vaping.
He's the fart detective. He's the meat lover. He's the fuck master. He's not Professor Crispy. He's graduated to certain tells over the course of the different maze. He's Kylo Ben. Producer Ben Kenobi. Ben Night Shyamalan. Ben Sade. Save anything. ... Ailey Benz with the $sign. Fucking Ben 19. The Fennel Maker. Warhaz. Mr. Ben Credible. Benglish. Eat Drink Ben Hosley.
Sure.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Beetle Vape Juice.
That's what my dad would call me a lot.
And for Miami Vice,
What was that? From Miami Vice? From Michael Mann?
yeah.
I don't know.
Someone suggested Benjamin Dollar Haas.
Oh, from like Manhunter?
Yeah.
Well, who knows?
Okay.
We'll figure it out later. But
Well, we are fiends for.
it's a great
Ben
picture.
Hito.
It's a great picture. I don't have to post it, but
Okay, can you show it to
I
us,
walk
though?
in.
It's so good, though.
Who is stretched out on the couch, watching Kiki's delivery service on his laptop, and has moist tears on his cheeks, just sitting there like little dewdrops that gather in the lily pad or whatever.
How long were you here before I got
Watching-
here? Because that was still the case when I got here.
Like 2 minutes. Like
Okay.
you showed up right after me. And just not watching like an emotionally wrenching scene, just watching Kiki like succeed.
It was the blip.
Yeah, watching her
Well,
do the
she-
final
She
rescue.
connected with the old lady.
Oh, I
Who
mean,
gave her the cake.
The old lady seems to be Ben's like
That's
trigger
the trigger.
point.
oh no, he's crying.
Can't look at you guys.
He's actually crying again now.
And then she had to save the day, and that was nice.
She does save the day. She has to borrow
Stop
another
looking at me.
broom.
She has to believe in
and
herself.
support you fully.
I
Ben.
want, for the listener at home, as Ben started explaining this, he broke eye contact, so he didn't have to see us looking at him. He's staring off into the middle distance. His eyes are red, and he's genuinely crying.
I
He's
like
crying
Kiki.
still right now.
All right, she's great. It's hard living in the city on your own, and I related to that.
all true.
She
And
made it
she
happen.
She figured it out on her own. She made her own path. Okay, that's hard.
Good kid.
She is a good kid. She figured it out.
She's a good little witch.
She's a good witch.
She's a
Miss
witch.
Witch.
I
Miss
love
Witch.
witches.
Look, I don't know how much of this comes from the book, but this is the masterstroke of this movie for me. That everyone who meets her is like, "Oh, a witch, good for you."
Oh, you're okay. Yeah, no, we don't have one of those
gotcha.
around here.
Yeah, we've been looking for a witch.
Because there's that initial when she lands and she's like, "I'm the witch for the town," and they're all like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, is this like anachronistic? She's
Right.
come to a modern town," and they're
Right.
like,
Right.
"What's a witch?"
And it's
then
like each town gets
people are
one
like,
witch.
Oh, right,
witch, sorry.
right. The broom, right?
Yeah.
I didn't put it together. Yeah, you're a witch. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to like deliver this fucking mackerel pie?
No, I'm sorry. I thought you said hitch. I was like, is someone gonna
Ooh, Kevin James around the
set
corner?
up relationships in this town?
Someone
Matchmaker
going on a
Kiki.
hot date to Ellis Island?
Yeah, cure for the common man.
Remember when his first date is like, let's go to Ellis Island and reckon with your immigration ancestry?
It's such a big
It's like
swing.
a fourth
Yeah.
date.
Yeah.
A fourth date? That's like a 10th date.
Yeah,
That's
the
like a
first
we're
date should be
married.
like, let's get coffee. Jesus
That's
Christ.
Like, even if her relative wasn't a serial killer as
Right.
he was,
Yeah.
Right.
that's a lot.
The butcher, right?
Yeah.
There's a
It's
really
funny.
good comedic
It's funny.
cut in
It's
that.
very funny.
So they called him the butcher.
Is that before or after he smacks her in the face with his leg on the jet ski? I think it's after.
I think
It's
it's
after, because that's
the
en
jet ski's
route
on
to-
the
Right.
way. Right.
I mean, okay.
It's
First
a
of all,
good premise that he can't. He's a good matchmaker and he
I
can't
was
do his
gonna
own fucking
say.
day. It's still funny.
That's what makes it the single best film of the 2000s.
Ooh, it does not hold up, guys.
I know it is a movie that has some problems when you watch it now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, also, do you remember how the trailer is like a lady slaps a man and he's like comes over, he's like, she's mad at you because you said like Diet Coke or whatever, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. What is this? 17 magazine for like 92? Like, don't say diet to a lady. She'll think you mean she's fat. Does my butt look big in this? Remember when that was supposedly what like every woman said to every man?
Oh, yeah.
Does my butt look big in this? And people were like, people are talking about butts now. It's the 90s.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
We can finally talk
You can
about
finally talk about it.
David's going on a rant about God knows what.
I like Will Smith.
Me too. Love him.
Hitch and butts.
Yeah, Hitch and Butts.
Hitch and butts.
Well, this, of course, is Blank Check. It's a podcast about Hitch and Butts, filmmakers who have massive success early on in their careers.
With Hitch and Butts.
And a given series of blank checks to hitch whatever butts they want. And sometimes those checks clear, and sometimes they get delivered via broomstick. Oh, baby. And yeah, there's a miniseries on the films of Hayao Miyazaki. It's called Howl's Moving Podcastle. We're talking about Kiki's delivery service. And with us, back for the second time,
Kaboom.
Here I am.
kaboom, Caroline Framke
Hello.
She's from Variety.
I am.
from Variety.
I can't remember if you were at Variety last
I
time.
wasn't.
You were
I was at Vox
You
last
were at
time
Vox.
for a very similar film, I feel like.
Showgirls?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
about
much the
moving to
same
the big
vibe.
city.
Yeah, yeah. They're
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
Just trying to make it.
innocence, moving to a cruel world,
Oh, no, it actually is.
branching out on their own. Yeah.
Here we go. Comic-Con news for you.
Okay.
Halloween. 2 sequels,
What?
both directed by David Gordon Green and starring Jamie Lee Curtis.
What?
Oh.
2020, Halloween Kills. 2021, Halloween Ends. Because they've never tried to end this series before.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
never
say,
bitten them in the ass.
kind of felt like the last one ended.
Sure, when she burned him up in the old basement.
Yeah, and it was like a complete closure to
Yeah, but then there
her
was this
emotional arc.
definitive moment where it began again when it made $1 billion in like one day.
Yeah.
When they were just like, it's called Halloween, fucking Michael Myers did it. And people were like, if I don't see this movie right fucking now, you know, like it made $1 gajillion.
I just think like that's a sequel that I find depressing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Halloween Kills. Maybe he'll kill more podcasters.
I would be into
Pod
that.
fade.
Yeah.
Remember when he just massacred a podcast?
Yeah.
They were like, we're here with Michael Myers. And he's just like, poof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
great.
that woman got nominated for Best Frady Cat Performance at the MTV Movie Awards.
You fraidy cat. What,
Yeah.
you afraid of the big man who's trying to kill you?
Yeah, she lost to Academy Award winner Sandra Bullock.
Really?
Yeah.
In what?
Oh, Bird Box.
Yes, I did.
Oh.
I along with our friend Esther Zuckerman, Matt Starr, who's a great comedian here in the city. I did like the MTV Movie Awards, like post show, live show,
Mhm.
web wrap up thing.
So, right, you were up on the Frady Cat Award and the
I
Best
think
Kiss.
it's
or
scared as
whatever.
hell now. They keep like adjusting the titles.
See, I thought it was scared as shit at first.
Yes, it was.
and then now is it scared as hell? or
According
is
to
it like Frady Cat?
IMDb,
Yeah, what is it?
it is.
It was scared as bleep for a while.
most frightened performance.
Oh, boy.
And here are the 5 nominees. Here
Okay.
we go.
Can I try to remember?
Go ahead.
Halloween, obviously.
Halloween, the podcast lady
Right, the podcast lady.
who got murdered in a fucking toilet.
Right. Okay. Sandra Bullock for Bird Box wins.
Yes.
Are the other 3 nominees?
1 TV, 2 movies.
Right. 1 TV, 2 movies. One of them Scream Queens?
Nope. This is this year.
Is it a Ryan Murphy?
No.
No, it's not. And it's not Riverdale.
No.
It's not. No, it's like a true horror series is the one series.
It's a true horror TV series.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Bang Theory.
Bazinga.
Jim Parsons stares at Kaylee Cuoco with dead eyes.
He's terrified.
He's like, why are we friends?
It's a true horror. Oh, Walking Dead?
No.
What?
It's one of those things you forgot happened even though it was the hottest shit for 2 weeks.
Because this year has been 10 years long.
Haunting Hill House?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
The Haunting
that's
of
it.
Hill House. Victoria Pedretti.
Okay.
I don't know
And
who
then
that is.
2 movies.
2 movies. One of them, a fantastic movie.
One
That
of
we
the-
love.
That we love.
We love!
Oh, of course. Alex Wolff for Hereditary, who should
Correct.
have won that category. That's the best scared as shit.
I don't know. Bird
performance.
Box had a Bird Box.
It did have Bird Box. Okay, and then the other one, is it a franchise?
No.
Yes, it's a spin-off, I believe.
Is it The Nun?
No, but you're in the right direction. It's
not Curse of La Llorona?
La Curse of La Llorona.
Was it Cardellini?
Linda Cardellini.
Oh, well,
For the Green Book. The Curse of the Green Book.
yeah, she's the heart and soul of that movie.
She is the heart and soul of the Curse of La Llorona. The Curse of La Llorona made a ton of money too. People will fucking see anything.
Conjuring is
Except
the most,
for comedies.
yes, or other films. Conjuring is the most successful horror franchise of all time.
Right.
And La Llorona is kind of like cousins.
La
with it.
Llorona.
It's like not connected.
Isn't it like a spin-off of The Nun or something? It's sort of like, right, it's become so disparate.
Yeah,
This whole
it's like it like kind of touches it a little bit. Yeah,
kind of touches The Nun.
yeah, it kind of
Touches The Nun. She's like, you shouldn't have done that. I'm a fucked up nun.
yeah.
What if The Nun is Robert De Niro? Shouldn't have fucking, I'll curse you.
I can't wait for.
I know La Llorona.
I can't wait for the nun creation.
Yeah. The
And then nun comes home.
Yeah, the nun comes home. The nun plays Ouija. What if we just start intersecting them all? You know what I mean? Paranormal activity, Ouija.
Don't you think that's what's going to happen,
Ouija?
though? Like, all these other rebooted franchises are, like, underperforming. They're just going to be like, fuck, we have to make one mega franchise
Right, like
that
an
can
Avengers.
compete with Marvel.
Right.
Right. It's like the Conjuring universe is investigated by the Men in Black.
Sounds great.
Right.
Right. And the Legos are there.
And Wreck-It Ralph is there too.
Yeah, he's going to rack
Perfect.
it.
Yeah, right.
Gotta.
Fucking Vigo's there from Green Book. Hey, it's fucking La Llorona. Look, I could drive you, but you better not curse me.
What would you do if, like, tomorrow they announced a Green Book sequel?
Be great.
If
I'd be
they're-
so fucking excited. But it's him driving someone else. Now he's driving like a Japanese guy, and you're like, oh Jesus! You know, like, what's he gonna say?
MTV Movie Awards would have to bring back the best sandwich in a movie category. Which
That's sandwich in a movie.
they had it
was
once.
Spanglish nominated.
It was in '96, and that's the
Damn
only
it.
year they had it.
Fuck. Okay, wait. How many
don't-
nominees were there?
I have to find the actual nominees.
All right, I'm finding.
The retired categories of the MTV Movie Awards are incredible.
Says that the show used to be fun. I
I
can
know.
say this
I had
now.
to review it this year. That was
I
impossible.
had
I've
to
never felt
fucking
older in my
do
life.
this
I
thing
have
where they were
no
like,
idea.
"Hey, what was your favorite moment from the show?" And I couldn't name anything.
There were 3 sandwiches nominated,
Let's do
Okay,
it. 96.
and here's the real fucking curveball.
Yeah.
You're
The
not.
winner is a movie your dad produced.
No shit.
Oh fuck! Is the winner Smoke?
Ham
Yes.
and cheese from Smoke.
Wow.
Your dad produced that, right?
Yeah, I think I told him that, and he put it on his resume
That
like,
he won
has,
the
has
MTV
been not,
Best
has
Sandwich.
won- his films have won one MTV Movie Award.
Wow,
I can't
96
believe
had some good
Smoke won.
categories.
Smoke beat out the Turkey Club from 4 Rooms in the sub from Goldeneye,
Wow.
which is one of the
Sub with
best James
tomatoes
Bond
and
jokes.
provolone.
It's
Yeah.
when you know, he's like, and what's this? And Q's like, that's my lunch. And it's great joke. He's like, what does this fucking explode and turn me invisible?
'cause
That's my
it's
lunch.
just a regular sandwich.
It's just a sandwich.
Do you remember when?
And then it's just funny to think about Q being like, can't wait to eat that sub. I'm like a nice old English man in a cardigan. He's like, ah.
It doesn't feel like what he would pack.
Yeah, but it's good because he can grab. He can go, that's my lunch.
David's doing the grab for the listener at home. It's great. He's killing the grab. He's doing it.
Some really good
perfectly.
physical comedy. Space work.
What do they call sandwiches in the UK? You know how like every like regional names, like
Butties?
subs,
Sandies?
grinders.
Framke might know because she's pretty worldly. She's the only
Oh,
person
yeah,
in this
yeah.
room
She
who
lived
might
in
have a frame
England.
of reference.
I did.
Okay,
lived in
so
England.
as the only person in this room who has ever lived in England,
Right. Do they have like a regional sort of
Well,
name?
Can I talk about this?
What's that?
what
One-
would you have to say?
One, I grew up in England.
What?
Oh,
You've never. All this time we've been friends.
You never mentioned.
Oh, shut the fuck up. We're doing 2 episodes today, so I can't believe I'm going to do this shit twice. For one, the sandwich is named after the place Sandwich in England. There's a place called Sandwich.
I'm
The
aware.
Earl of
And
Sandwich.
the Earl of Sandwich was
Right.
supposedly like so addicted to gambling that he was like, I need a thing that I can hold in one hand.
Yeah.
And someone was like, I don't know, put his meat in a bread and
Yeah,
wrap it.
and he lived in the airport, which is why they dedicated one kiosk per airport to him, the Earl of Sandwich.
But my favorite English word for sandwich
Uh huh.
is butty.
Ooh.
Yes.
Butty, which especially in the North is like, like a bacon buddy,
Can I ask a question?
which is basically like a little roll with one thing in it.
Gotcha. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Let me ask you as a follow-up. Why?
Why is it called a buddy?
Yeah.
It's a great question. Like, what's the etymology
Yeah.
of butty?
Yeah.
A butty.
I understand.
It's usually like, origin, 8th century, weird peasants.
Yeah. Really?
It's like, I don't know, it's an old fucking country. Like, people used to talk really well. You know what, though?
Can I make a guess?
Not for this.
Can I make a guess?
I just found out.
Is it because they're using like the ingredients from the butt of the thing, like the ends of the bread or the butt of the meat?
That's
or
a
whatever?
fair
That's
guess,
good,
but no, apparently it's from the word butter. Like, because
'cause
butter
it's
is such
butter
a classic
and a
ingredient
thing.
in a
Yeah.
Butter
sandwich.
and bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually prefer not to like dig deeper into British food because most of it is you do
Here-
not want to know.
Here are
Yeah.
some other English words for sandwich. Bap, which is like a big roll,
Yeah.
but also is a very coarse way to say breast.
Oh.
Get your baps out.
Ugh.
I agree. I said coarse.
Oh boy.
A sarnie,
Have
which
they
is like a
done that
sandwich you get at the
joke in a
beach.
fucking movie where a guy's like, "Hey, get your baps out," and then she raises 2 sandwiches from out of frame.
Yeah, have
That's-
you never seen like a Carry On movie? Like they're all like that.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, there's
We
a lot of them.
What if we did Carry On as a franchise
It's
for
like
Patreon?
40 movies.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause it's just like
Right.
they're at the beach now.
Right. Carry On the DMV.
Pretty much.
Carry On the accountant's office. Yeah.
But I always like the bacon buddy. Sometimes you can get a chip
Okay.
buddy, which is literally just a French fry sandwich. Pretty great.
I
Pretty
mean,
great.
That sounds pretty cool.
Pretty great. Anyway, you grew up in England.
I did.
A
I mean,
little
not
bit.
as much as
A
you.
little bit.
I know. It was like,
what was your chunk? What were your years? Who were your years?
I mean, it was only like 3 years, but it was like
She
basically.
did a jazz set in England.
You did
Yeah,
just-
exactly.
Well, yeah, what years? Come on.
Oh, this is true. I moved there the week that Princess Diana died.
97.
And I remember that because we
Wow.
lived like near-ish
You lived
Kensington
in-
Palace
right,
and
you
like
lived
just
in the
watched
south. Yeah.
everyone
South
lose
of
their
You were like,
minds.
wow, this country's really sad.
I remember. Have I
Do
told
they
this
do this
story
for
on the
everyone?
podcast? My
No.
mom was a reporter who covered, if something happened in England, she was on it. And I remember the day Diana died, she went to Paris, and then the day they opened the memorial thing where they just put out a book outside Kensington Palace. And it's like, and then people were piling up the flowers, and there was a book, and it was like, just sign the book if you want to give your condolences.
Yeah.
And so my mom goes to check it out, and there was a line that was like 8 hours long.
Oof.
And she went to the back of the line, and she was like, it's like you're gonna have to wait all day to sign a book. And they were like, yeah, totally. And she came home and she was like, this is like going to be the biggest deal in the world. Like, I don't think anyone understands how much this is hitting people.
I remember we went and put like flowers at the gate sort of thing. And there was this gold balloon. And I remember because every time we saw it on the news after that, the gold balloon was like further and further away because the cameras could not get any closer because there were so many flowers.
Anyway, that's when you moved.
That's when I moved to
97.
England. Yeah, I was 9.
Sure.
Wow.
And I left when I was 12. So it's like when I left, I was like
99.
this cute kid. I was kind of a jerk, but like I could be because I was a cute kid. And then I went to England and puberty just happened all over,
Just
everywhere.
like,
it was just.
I
I came back with like my mom had cut off all my hair. I had my glasses.
Weird move.
I will.
All your hair.
It was a lot of hair. It was. She was sick of doing it. I do blame her. I've never forgiven her. She knows this.
I also feel
I'll say
like
that on mic. I don't care.
The exact point in time when you want to really shake things up, big reset, move across the country, is right when you turn 13.
Exactly. So then I
Very
moved,
calm time.
I moved from New Jersey and then back to New Jersey. When I
Wow.
came back, I just looked like they were like, you can't pull that like cute bratty shit anymore.
Really?
No. I fell way down on the social order when I came back. They were like, this is not the same person.
Also, 3 years. I mean, it's like.
It's just long enough to get used to it, just long enough to get like a
Right.
hint of an accent.
Yeah.
And then like if I had stayed one more year, I think I would have like taken the common entrance exam, which is kind of like their SATs where you then go to like secondary school.
Lovely.
And then I might have just like gone to boarding school and had like David's
geez.
life, you know?
Well, I didn't go to boarding school.
You didn't go to boarding school?
No.
All my, posh little friends went to boarding school.
It wasn't that posh.
Oh, he says as
Oh,
he swings
swinging.
his headphone cable. Look at him swinging it around like he's some fucking constable.
Just a little,
No.
little.
My mom,
Tosser.
my
Thank
parents, I should say, my parents refused to put
swinging
me.
it around like a baton. It's
They
a
wouldn't
heavy
put you in boarding
cable.
school?
No, they were never going to put me. in
I
boarding
think my
school.
mom would have been like, yeah, you should go to boarding school. And I would have been the one to be like,
That's terrible. That fucks people.
She
up
went to
forever.
boarding school and it did fuck her up. And
Fucks
she was
them
still
up.
like, yeah,
Every
boarding
English
school, though.
person I knew, whose
It
parents
fucks-
have been to boarding school, if you even brought it up, they'd be like,
They have
I've
such
never
horror
forgiven
stories.
My parents. Like,
Really?
it's such a thing. But no, I was not allowed to go to the American school, which does exist in London,
Yes.
which is like trying to be like an American high school experience.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
can speak English. Is it bilingual or do they only speak English?
You're like, hello, and they're like, Huh? Like, hey guys, and they're like, "Oh, hi, how you doing, man?"
Howdy, what's up?
Yeah, better not ask anyone for a buddy over there. You know what I'm saying?
Because they were like, "Look, you're in England, you might as well like,
Yeah. We had the same thing.
Keep it real, right?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I went to the school where you got like the little uniforms at Harrods.
Did you have a hat?
Oh, I had 2 hats, one for summer, one for winter. The
rough
winter
when they
one
get
was
the kids a
like a
fucking
naughty
hat.
elf hat.
Oh,
like we
sure.
looked like little naughties. And then the summer one was like a Madeline straw boater that's like flat on top and super uncomfortable. My mom loved those
There
boaters.
was a hat as part of the.
we still
If
have
a kid's wearing a hat in their uniform, you're like, that is the upper crust. Those are the fancy schools.
them. Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. I had to wear a blazer, just a black blazer.
I mean, blazer standard.
Standard.
They just gave us sacks.
In Jersey.
Yeah.
And the meat was still in them. You had to eat your way through. They were like, your lunch is in there
Every day.
every day.
Are you guys doing like a potato sack race or something? No,
You
chemistry.
earned your sack.
Every day you just walk to school naked and then they give you your sack. That's what Jersey's like, right?
Yeah.
What a good time. Thank y'all for listening. Ding dong.
Okay. Who's at the door?
Yum 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 yum.
Is it Cookie Monster?
Brookie monster.
Oh,
Me
yeah,
feeling
David.
efficient and ad read
This
today.
is a new character.
Oh,
I
yeah?
forgot to mention it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Me love to eat sheets.
He's you eat them?
Yum yum buttery satin finish. Yum yum brookie monster.
So you just like the sheets because they're insanely comfortable? Is that why they're more delicious?
Comfy in my tummy.
Yeah, they're
Sure.
so buttery and so soft. It's the Brookie Monster loves to eat them.
Right, because Brooklyn and the kind of sheets you prefer clearly from your name. They're the first DTC bedding company that works directly with manufacturers and directly with customers with no middleman.
DTC down to cookie?
So that's like more tasty?
No, I was just asking. Me asking.
Okay, fine. Well, what about the 20 colors and patterns that you can mix and match? Is that delicious? This is a tough character to crack.
Me trying to just move fast.
Well,
Me
again,
sound more like Yoda now.
I'm just trying to give you some facts about Brooklinen.com. You know, the winner of Best Online Betting at the Good Housekeeping.
Brookie Monster loves high quality sheets.
They are high quality. They've gotten 35,000 5-star reviews. We all sleep on them, and I would rather just... spoiler alert. Breaking news. I bought the clothes. I bought the Brooklyn clothes.
Sure, how are they?
Soft and wonderful. I
Do you
love
like
them.
to lounge around
Yes.
in your sheets, in
my Brooklyn
linen
shirt and loungewear.
Ding dong. Ding dong.
Who we got?
I'm not sure. Hello?
It's me, Sweatpants Monster.
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
to eat sweatpants.
Well, all right.
Well, my Brooklyn sheets are the most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on, and their towels have turned my bathroom into a spa.
Ding dong.
The door's open.
Just come in.
Come in.
Hey, it's me. It's been a couple months, but I'm the new ad guy here.
You're not
at
that new
Brooklyn.
anymore. I've seen you around.
Well, I just feel like I never get the chance to properly.
Sure.
Is this a bad?
Was it
I see-
Brian?
I can't remember honestly.
it's
You don't remember
Brian.
your own name?
It's fine. What's up?
No, I just want to make sure the Brooklyn ad's going over. Okay.
I think it's going
yeah?
pretty good. For example, they have an exclusive offer for just our listeners. You can get 10% off and free shipping when you use promo code CHECK at brooklinen.com. And they're so confident in their product, all their sheets, comforters, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. And the only way to get 10% off and free shipping is to use promo code CHECK at brooklinen.com. That's BROKLINEN.com, promo code CHECK.
Great. Well, that sounds like a good ad to.
Oh, they're the
me.
best sheets ever.
Oh, fantastic! Great. Okay.
Get a new set of sheets.
Yum 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 yum.
Kiki's Delivery
Kiki's
Service.
Delivery
It's a
Service.
Goofy Friday on Blank Check.
Highest grossing film of Japan that year.
Really?
And he's coming off of Totoro, which is like this cultural sensation.
Yes, and which
Totoro's been elected
which had
prime
been
minister.
big, but then grown. Like,
Right.
it's not like Totoro just was an instant hit. It was like a hit that then became a big deal.
Right.
So for this, it's like now everyone is like, Miyazaki.
Right.
He is for real. He
Yeah.
is the king of animation.
And this is a very crowd pleasing movie. I mean, this is just a movie that is very, very nice.
Oh, you think this movie's lovable?
Yeah.
You think this one's whimsical and charming?
Yeah.
Kiki's Delivery Service? Are you
You're
sure?
gonna keep
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yes, kind of.
I'll tell you what Kiki delivered to me. A great time.
Thank you all for
simultaneous
listening.
head in hands situation across the table from us.
Kiki certainly delivers the laughs. I'm Gene Shalit. I thought I saw Gene Shalit on the bus the other day because I saw a man who was stark white, like totally white
You mean white skin or
hair,
white hair? Okay.
and mustache.
Okay.
But it kind of looked like the Gene Shalit. Like he had that sort of mustache, and the hair looked like it could be like how Gene Shalit was combing over his hair now if he was trying to replicate the hairstyle. And he was dressed very, very loudly.
I mean, that also feels like a classic New York bus
That was the
experience. So
thing.
it's kind of like, is
I
this
was
just
like, I haven't seen him on our screens in like 10 years. He might look like this now. Or also, Gene Shalit's a product of New York. He's not the only Gene Shalit. There are a lot of them out there.
So,
I think it wasn't him, but I was like really staring him down.
in 1985,
Yeah.
a book is published.
Okay.
Kiki's Delivery Service.
A novel,
by
right?
Eiko Kandono, yes.
It's not a manga. It's
no,
a novel.
children's fantasy novel
Okay.
about a young witch whose mother is a witch. Her dad's just a regular old guy, just like in most Miyazaki movies. The dad's just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Like,
he's a nice guy with glasses,
yeah, he's
his
got
sleeves
glasses.
pushed up.
He's never fucking
It's
heard
some
of fly.
fucking muggle.
Miyazaki dads are hot. I'm just
They
gonna-
are hot. No, well, all right.
We already
fuck
talked about the
them.
hot dads. in
No,
Miyazaki?
but
They're
like
good.
they're good.
Let's
You're
get
right.
into it. Miyazaki Dad sidebar.
Yeah.
Miyazaki Dad sidebar. They tend to be goofuses, and I guess
I watched Totoro for the first time this
yeah,
week, and I was like, "That's a hot dad."
That's a hot dad.
That's
That's a hot dad.
Did you like Totoro?
I really did.
Mhm.
It's so cute. I mean, it's just so nice.
It's too bad that anyone who listens to our episode about it will never like it again or anything again.
Oh no!
No,
What did
come
you
on.
do?
No, right? You edited it to make
It's
it
also,
good.
it's not our fault. It's not our fault. It's pod fade.
Yeah, it's that fucking.
It's
pod fade.
unavoidable.
I love how we're making fun of a thing that will totally be forgotten by the in the month, since
Well, by the time this episode comes
Yeah.
out, we'll be done with pod fade.
pod fade.
The notion of pod fade will have faded.
So she's got a cat called Gigi.
Mhm.
It's a whole book, and it's nice, and they fucking buy the rights to it.
It's like Japan's answer to Sabrina.
Yeah, Ghibli basically buys it and is like, Miyazaki or Takahata, the two directors we got, one of them will do this.
Mhm.
Both of them were busy,
Mhm.
and so initially Miyazaki's like, I'll produce it, but find a different director.
Yeah.
And then he wraps up on Totoro, and he's like, you know what? Kind of like this. I want to do this.
He was getting hands-on with the script and with story
right.
development.
Yeah, he's
And
like, right, yeah, I got some ideas
Yeah.
about, being a woman, being a young woman in Japan.
I want to put my experiences into this firsthand. Yeah.
Right.
What, any other
that was
context?
the end.
You usually have your leather-bound
you
volume
want me
of
to get the-
Miyazaki interviews. Take out.
The starting point. So this is David reads from the book that he bought about Hayao Miyazaki.
With the glowing crest, with the line holding
Here
a
is an
scepter.
interview he gave in 1989 about Kiki's Delivery Service. The starting point was wanting to make a film about a girl in adolescence.
Mm.
She would be an ordinary girl who comes to Tokyo from the countryside. I wanted to depict these kinds of situations faced by such girls in our current society. This is a fictional story set in a fictional land where witches live, but, he wanted it to be like, this is what's happening now.
Mhm.
It's like we got this country-city divide, and these people are moving into Tokyo, and they're like, I don't know how to fucking hack this. This is like such a big, scary city.
And I love that the witch thing isn't a metaphor for any form of bigotry.
Oh, totally. My God. It's a metaphor for
I think it's a metaphor for
talent.
Right. It's
mean-
whatever your thing is. It's not a metaphor for any sort of otherness.
Right.
It's whatever you got to figure out how to do best in your life. Your art, your craft, or your career, or whatever the thing is.
I mean, I don't know. At one point, she does say, like, I just want people to see me as I am.
Here's a... Sure.
But, I mean, I feel like we all feel that way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She's
no,
not
I know.
like...
I just feel like witches always kind of have, like, that underlying sort of, like, half fear, half, like, intrigue thing.
That's true. I was so
It's
astounded
not
by the
as
fact...
heavy.
Yeah,
as it
that
could
no
be.
one in this movie ever goes like, a witch.
A witch. Cast her
No,
out.
they're
A
mostly just,
witch.
like, a little startled. They're like, oh, shit, a witch.
Yeah, or the girls are kind of like, oh, you're a witch? Like, how quaint.
Oh, I mean, the
You know what I
teens are
mean?
mean to her.
Yeah, the teens are kind of mean. Here's something else he says.
Mhm.
Kiki goes into a slump when she finds out she can't fly, which happens late in the movie. She'll be depressed about other things in the future as well. She may become sad, but she will climb out of that feeling. That's how I wanted to end the film. I didn't want her to have a happy ending with her business becoming a success or her becoming the town's sweetheart. I wanted to give the sense that she will repeatedly become dejected, but then regain her vitality. So he sort of ends it with like, look, it's going to be ups and downs.
I mean, this is the thing I'm really getting into with Miyazaki.
Yeah.
This guy's so good at making movies that are just about inside conflict.
Yes.
Where the
right,
outside
right.
conflict is not really a thing. Like, this movie will have, like, oh, this scene she's struggling to find the cat toy that she dropped.
Right.
You know?
Good scene.
But, like, there isn't an overarching outside conflict. It's just, like, this girl needs to figure it out.
Absolutely.
She's
And
just figuring out her place in this world.
I also feel like so many Miyazaki movies, not Totoro, not yet. This is probably the first one because the previous ones have all been more fantastic.
Mhm.
And this, even though she's a witch who flies,
Yeah.
is more grounded. But a lot of Miyazaki stories are like, look, you got to get a job.
Yeah.
And
You
you're
gotta
going to
live.
learn
Yeah.
through working.
Get a job.
Get a job. And of course,
Miyazaki.
as we all know,
Yeah.
Miyazaki is a member of Shana Na.
He is, of course, a member of Sean.
Get a job. Because, like, so much of the pleasure and the, sort of like emotional truth
Mhm.
Kiki arrives at is through fucking rolling up her sleeves and doing something.
Right,
Sure.
like she gets a couple lucky breaks when she meets the wonderful bakery owner, but then
The
she's
wonderful bakery owner is good, but she does have to earn her
she
keep.
has to earn her keep just to clean up that attic.
And like when
she has
she's
to eat pancakes.
when she's
for
got
a
the
while.
flam flam with the cat statue,
Mhm.
like the girl's
yeah.
like, well, if you clean my floor, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like I'm just gonna help you out because you seem like a nice
Yes.
lady.
Right.
You cut to Kiki's on the floor scrubbing.
Yeah.
She got to scrub that floor.
Yeah.
I mean, Spirited Away obviously like has a floor scrubbing set piece. Like he likes floor
He
scrubbing.
likes work.
But there's also like she's so willing to do that, and she's also like, well, I can't do work for nothing. I have to help.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
Like I remember when she does find the cat toy in the window, I was like, just take it and run. Just go. You found it.
you
And
found
she's
it.
like,
There it is.
excuse me, that's mine. I know you think it's yours. It's not. She doesn't have to.
She's a good
I
cat.
would have just run away.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not as
Um,
nice.
And then Miyazaki's thing is like when she's running into like the more spoiled rich girl who like takes the pie and is like, I don't want this pie.
Ugh,
Like my
heartbreaking.
grandma with her fucking pies. Here's Miyazaki's take.
Okay.
This kind of thing happens all the time in real life. It might have been shocking for Kiki to hear. It might hurt her deeply, but there are many things in this world we just have to bear.
Yep.
Where he's like, I'm not trying to say a lesson about rich kids. I'm
Right.
just being like, yeah, man,
Shit
sometimes
happens.
you'll work hard and they'll be like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And you'll be like,
So bad.
okay,
Yeah.
I guess that was my day.
Remember when the grandma was like, "Oh, it's my
Fucking
famous
pie, dude.
herring and pumpkin pie."
Yeah.
I remember my first reaction was, "Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know."
It looks really gross.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
that
looks
response is bad.
I know
but-
the response is so bad. Then I
I'm-
felt bad.
I want that pie. Give me that pie.
I mean, I guess if you treat the pumpkin more like a squash and it's not like a sweet pumpkin.
yeah, I mean, there's a restaurant in Boston that I like that makes like it's an Afghanistan restaurant.
I didn't
Afghan
know you grew
restaurant.
up in Boston. That accent.
How do you like those apples?
Yeah.
Them apples.
Them apples, please.
That makes like a pumpkin and beef dish.
Mm.
That when you hear it, you're like, oh, what? And then you taste it and you're like, this is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. Like, what the fuck? I love this. So,
Also, the grandma did like a very like British bake show thing where it's like there's a fish on top.
I was gonna
yes.
say,
I know. The sculpted fish.
When they cut
Showstopper.
yeah.
I
That
found
and like the
that's-
Kiki bread
it's
circle.
So gross.
Griffin's just like, no, thank you.
Yeah. I was like, you're trying to remind us that there's a fish inside?
It's a
You're not
It might be
detail.
like kind of a warning where
Yeah.
it's like, looks like a pie, right?
Yeah. So skull and crossbones at the top of the pie?
Yeah, would you actually rather not know and then be surprised with fish?
I would rather. Here's my thing. We were talking about this before we recorded. It's weird that I don't like the taste of iced coffee at all.
Yeah,
And I
That is
barely
weird.
like iced tea.
You've got a lot of your sort of like little hang-ups with food.
I
where
got-
that's a surprise.
I got a bazillion hangouts, but a lot of them are I'm a little bit binary about like this is how this thing is. You know?
Sure.
Like don't put savory stuff in the sweet stuff.
I might point out though that you like raspberry coffee.
I like so many weird fucking things
Sure.
that don't make sense with my food hangups.
Right.
I'm saying like if I get a meat dish and then there are raisins on it, I'm like, I like raisins.
Oh, I'm with you on this one.
I like meat. Don't
I
put
mean, you
raisins
can't bring
near
up
my
raisins
meat.
as like that's
I don't
No
know.
one's gonna say
Have you
yes to
ever-
that.
Have you ever had a
I don't even mind
Moroccan
raisins,
lamb
but-
stew with golden raisins in it? It is pretty lit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once
Yes.
in a while, if someone wants to throw a raisin in,
I got some
It's
meat
not
dish
my
with
thing.
raisins the other day, and I didn't. I was unhappy.
you got meat and raisins?
Yeah,
Why'd you go to Jimmy's meat and raisin shop?
that was my
Griffin,
mistake.
you gotta stop going there.
I'll have the number one. Oh, you want the meat and raisins?
meat and raisins? And you're like,
No.
can I hold the raisins? And he's like, nope.
But But I just feel like that kind of thing where it's like, we all know fish.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't
Familiar.
usually hang out in a pie.
You know what they do? The UK.
So it's not like if they didn't sculpt a fish on top of the pie, I would forget the fish was in it.
Right.
But I also don't need you to underline it a bunch of times. Because if I'm going to enjoy this, I'm going to be like, you know what? Fish
Crazy.
and pie
Right.
tastes surprisingly different than I expected.
I'm not thinking about it. I'm just taking a bite
the
of
way
a
you're
thing.
beefing squat, like I kind of want like whatever umami sensation of just like this is like greater the sum of the parts.
But you're saying that you would reject that pie. You would break that grandma's heart.
No, I wouldn't.
Griffin,
Just
answer
smash it.
carefully.
Okay, here's my answer. I would not act like this fucking brat.
Okay.
I would go like, oh, thank you so much. I'd close the door and then I'd throw it out.
Sure.
I wouldn't stand
Or
there and
you'd
go
be like,
ugh.
fish pie going once. I don't want it. Like, once you close the door.
Right.
He's so
Good, yeah.
sad about it.
Well, I
I
think
wouldn't do it to
That's-
Kiki's
I
face.
think that
That's the
moment is
point.
tremendous because it's not Kiki that's being rejected.
No.
It's the grandma.
Yeah.
But Kiki just had this whole day with this woman.
She knows
Now,
how hard
Kiki's
she
like,
worked
that's
for
a
it.
complete person.
Yeah.
I helped her.
That's a complete
We discovered the sort of, that like she likes the old oven better. We
Kiki
worked hard.
has humanity.
And Kiki's like, and then I dragged this fucking thing over in the rain, and the girl's like, yeah, no thank you.
She's got sweat equity in that pie.
Exactly. Right. But it's not like, I feel like it would just be easier and more manipulative if like Kiki had made the pie and the girl's like, I don't want your
Right.
pie.
Right.
Then it's like the girl's just being mean to Kiki.
It's just this moment where she realizes that
The
people can
girl's
be
not
really
even
careless
thinking
about
about
people's
Kiki.
feelings.
No.
Kiki's just like a UPS delivery person.
Right.
To the girl.
Standard
Like,
run-of-the-mill delivery witch.
Exactly.
This movie.
What was the thing I was going to say? Oh, I also love that when she gets sick and stands up. Why am I forgetting his name already?
Tombo.
Tombo.
I was going to say
Tintin,
Jumbo.
Waldo.
Tintin Waldo.
Yeah.
When she stands up, Tombo, and you're like, oh, this is going to be one of those things where he's so angry at her and she
Right.
can't explain and she's hiding and she doesn't want to face him.
Right.
And
so he's
then-
like, you were sick.
Yeah,
Can't
he's
go
like,
out
yeah,
when
no,
you're sick.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got sick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're. I was told by the nice baker lady.
Right.
I wish you had told me directly, but it's fine. I understand. Everyone gets sick.
He doesn't even say that. He's just like, yeah, you were sick.
Yeah,
Too bad.
I found out. I heard.
Right.
I heard you were sick.
I
Yeah,
had to
it makes
wait for like
perfect
10
sense.
minutes for
Yeah.
you.
Like, I'm sorry you got wet or something. There's something very cute.
I just
don't know.
love that there's no fucking fight over that.
Well, and I also love that, like, okay, so Kiki, all right, this is a movie about Kiki.
That
She's
she
a witch.
feels the shame and she's like, I'm gonna get yelled at in the movie. It's like, no, it's fine. He's not a monster.
Right. Jesus, it's a
You know.
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, in some movies, it's like, a misunderstanding leads to Scar assuming kingship.
Yeah.
Where he's like, geez, Simba, when you think about it, you kind of killed your dad. And Simba, rather than being like, well, wait, it's like, no, I didn't. What? What are you talking about? Is like, you're right, I did. I gotta go.
Which movie is that you're talking
The
about?
Lion King.
Oh,
The Lion King
okay.
King of Lions?
is king. He's a lion.
He's a
King
lion.
line.
Wow.
No, Kiki, she's 13 years old. She
Yeah.
lives with her parents,
Mhm.
as many a 13-year-old does.
Yep.
But she's a witch. When you're 13, you gotta hop on your fucking broomstick, get your fucking shine box, and go to a town that's witchless.
That's
Yeah,
Find
every
the nearest
town-
witchless town.
This is what I want to know from the book. Like, do they ever explain why every town gets one witch? Like,
How many
one?
witches do you need?
That's so much pressure
Gotta
for
spread
one
it
witch.
around.
It's weird. It's like a witch, like bat mitzvah. Like at 13, you then have to like rumspringa, but also go on like
Yes.
a church mission. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of
find-
a mix of like you got to grow up, but also you got to kind of learn your trade.
right.
Yeah.
You gotta live in the real world.
When she gets there,
experiment.
she's
Yeah.
like, "Is there a witch here?" They're like, "No." She's like, "Chill. I'm your witch now."
Cool.
She's like,
there
great.
is now.
put
yeah.
up a notice, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like so and
I
like you
wish-
get the impression that her mom is kind of like a potions witch.
That's right.
Like-
They
Oh,
all
I
have
love it.
skills.
Like potions is kind of
Yeah.
her major.
Because I
you
love
know?
when they introduced the mom visually, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Her mom's like a chemist in the movie.
right.
And I'm like, oh, no. She's a witch
yeah.
doing potions.
Oh my god, though, that garden lab,
Oh,
like greenhouse
incredible.
thing.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the houses in this movie?
Sure.
They're beautiful. Like every house is so specific.
They
The
think very
production
hard
design
about
is
the
so
houses.
good.
Where does this film take place?
Well, we were talking about that.
A fantasy world,
Because
but
I kept.
It feels very French.
I also thought it felt very San Francisco.
Oh.
I kept like accidentally just assuming it was San Francisco with the trolley
Interesting.
cars.
no,
I don't know.
by
I
the
definitely went
water.
to
I know
France.
it's not literally
they
that.
they
but-
went on a trip. Miyazaki and his senior staff. They
Okay.
like went on a trip around to sort of like look at towns.
Mhm.
They settled on like Stockholm and other Swedish cities was like
Okay.
their main visual inspiration. And then they kind of just like tweak it as they see fit. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
like, of course, it's Miyazaki, so there's also like a Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And she calls the island like a town floating on the water.
But it's like a big city.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
she's like, I found a town, and I'm like, Kiki, this ain't no town.
Yeah.
Like,
They're just going to be making eye
this place
contact
has
this
like
whole
multiple
time, just, like,
schools.
crying.
Ben is still crying.
Stop.
No, I appreciate it. I told David, I was
Oh.
like, I'm gonna cry on this podcast, but now I feel like Ben's doing it for me, and I'm really grateful.
What a sweet boy.
In the book, the book is simpler, and in the book,
Uh-huh.
like her broomstick breaks, so she can't fly, so she has to fix the broomstick.
Okay,
And
that doesn't happen.
Miyazaki is like, no, it needs to be more just like she emotionally loses the ability to access her flight. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like she has to like just sort of be brought down and then figure it back
Well,
out.
this whole like weird kind of like Polar Express thing too, where like she stops being able to hear the cat.
Oh,
yeah.
I
It's
can't
just
talk
sort of
about
like
that one without.
I don't know what's the Polar Express though.
The Polar Express, the whole thing is that like there's the bell, and when you get older, you stop being able to hear the bell.
Right.
You know what I also like
The
about
adults think the bell is broken
Right.
until a
Oh.
kid hears it, and they realize, oh, I've now grown up too much.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna say what I like about, even though she says that her skill is flying and that she like always knew how to fly and everything, she's not incredible at it in the beginning. Like she's like crashing into the trees, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna miss the sound of those bells because she's always crashing into those trees. And then she has her flight and it's beautiful, but she's still kind of figuring it out. Because I also love that
She's not a great flyer.
because they're like, oh, are you sure you don't want to wait a month? You were gonna wait a month, and she's like, no, I'm ready. I'm doing
Right,
this.
I'm
She does it a
going.
little bit before bit before she's ready.
Right.
She has a really funny line in that where she's like, well, what if I meet a boy in the next month and then
Hey.
I don't go?
That could happen.
Oh my God. My
Gets
mom used to
tight
tell
down.
me that all the time. She was like, when I said I wanted to go to LA, she's like, you got to go now. You got to go.
In case you fall
before
in
you
love.
meet.
Yeah, it was weird. She told me that, and this HR person I talked to about the business in LA. She's like, you got to go before you meet a guy. I was like, that's a weird thing to tell me. I just met you. But it is like a thing. Anyway, I just love that she's not awesome at it. And I also love, oh my God, the opening sequence when she's flying.
Yeah.
So pretty. I'm just clawing at my face right now.
And she's flying over their cool towns. They're kind of neon,
Just doing a Ben
She
Tier
meets
check.
the other witch who's kind of like, this is kind of
misty.
my area.
Oh, that cool witch with
Yeah.
her cool hair and her
I know. Where it's
jangly
and
earrings.
she's got a really stuck up cat, and Gigi's like,
Fuck that
"All
cat.
right, relax. You know what I mean?
You know,
Gigi rules, by the way.
Oh yes,
Gigi's good.
Yeah.
The cat.
Yeah, good
She's
guy.
I feel like
Or good girl, but then Phil Hartman. That's the
yeah. Which versions did you guys watch for this one?
I watched the dub always.
I watched.
I mean the subs.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I watch the subs, but I always, especially when it's interesting people like that,
You would
perversely
click over.
yeah,
flip
yeah.
over.
I
a
mean, the
couple
first time
times.
I saw it, it was the dub because I
Right.
saw it at a substitute teacher would basically
Yeah.
wheeled in the TV and was like, "Here we go."
We were saying even though Totoro had a massive success, and then after this Mononoke gets released by Miramax, this one was just released on VHS by Disney 10 years later with Phil Hartman and Kirsten Dunst. It's the last Phil
Kiki
Hartman
Dunst?
things released. It's a small soldiers reunion.
Right.
But yeah, it was it took 10 years to get any form of distribution in the U.S.
Right.
Never played in theaters here. Only came to VHS 10 years later. And Siskel and Ebert, this was the first time they reviewed a straight-to-VHS movie as a proper movie.
Was it 2 thumbs up?
They gave it 2 thumbs up.
Hell yeah.
Because they would have their little VHS corner that wasn't reviews. It would be here are some things that just came out that we reviewed 8 months ago, or here are some things that came straight to VHS and we're just telling you they exist. And they gave it a proper review that was validating it as I don't know why this isn't getting treated better, but this is a real movie. That's
Yeah.
10 years old.
It's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny that this comes out the same year as The Little Mermaid. I pointed that out on Totoro.
Right.
Not in the same countries, but Japan has this and
Yeah.
America has The Little Mermaid in the same year. And this is a movie about womanhood
Yeah.
and growing up and discovering yourself. And so is The Little Mermaid. But in The Little Mermaid, it's I'm in love with that guy I've never met, and I will give up my voice
Yeah.
to marry him before we even have a fucking conversation.
But it's also interesting.
I love The Little Mermaid, but it is, it's a wild movie.
The Disney VHS released it really, really well. But you're saying this comes out the same year as Little Mermaid, which is the beginning of the Disney Renaissance.
Yes.
And then Disney releases this in 1998, which is
The
almost the end of the Disney Renaissance.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, if they're charitable, include Tarzan.
Yeah, I know.
And they go
I know they
that's
do.
the last.
I know they do.
They should not.
Very charitable.
It's very
Don't
charitable.
do that.
Right.
Stop that.
What is 98? What movie is 98? Because Mulan's
Hercules?
97?
It's not Mulan?
Mulan is 98.
Maybe Mulan is 98 and Hercules is 97.
Hercules is 97.
Okay.
Mulan is 98, and Tarzan is 99.
Gotcha.
And then in 2000, we have The Emperor's New Groove, which is so good, but it's kind of outside all of it.
Yeah, and then in 2002, you have Lilo and Stitch, and those are the two best Disney
They're two good
films of the
ones.
last 30 years.
I'm recording, so whenever you guys want to get into it, I'm just like feeling so relaxed right now.
Oh, why are you feeling relaxed,
Dang,
Ben?
what just happened? You just like
Is your head feeling clear?
Yeah, I'm feeling so chilled out.
So anxiety, pain, sleeplessness.
no,
Gone out the
all that
window?
gone.
You
Like,
threw it out the window?
absolutely.
What happened?
Well, I've been using CBD, a premium CBD
Oh,
product.
you've been with our friends at Feels.
Oh yeah, have
Oh,
you guys heard about Feels?
Well, I find the whole
Yeah.
world of CBD very complicated.
Yeah, me
There's a lot of
too.
products. There's a lot of like snake oily kind of things that they sell at
Yeah.
bodegas that I don't understand. Feels makes the whole thing as simple as possible. They have a free CBD hotline. They have a tech support. They can guide you through the whole discovery process, and you can have a hassle-free membership to, month to month. You can check it out or your money back. There's no commitment. It's shipped direct to your doorstep in a few days. It's a natural, healthy, better way to feel better.
I think you mean a better way to feels better, my friend.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
If I can just do a
Did
little
you get
punch up
this
there.
sucker? It's a little pipette. There's this little flight, like a beer flight, but it's of CBD oils, and they're all lined up. And like, there's a whole guidebook on what's going to be better for the experience you're looking for. Put a little on your tongue.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned they got a hotline and tech support, right?
Yeah.
For people like me who are terrified of doing anything ever.
Right.
yeah. So I was like really stressed. I kind of hurt my back, and I've just like been having problems sleeping.
I can't relate to any of these. These are
And-
problems I have never experienced in my life.
I took
Back
some
injury,
Feels,
general
and I
state of
really
anxiety,
felt
insomnia.
better. It's so easy. You just do a couple drops on your tongue, and within a few minutes, you're feeling better. You're feeling the difference.
I think you mean feelsing better, but yeah.
Okay. Feels has me feeling my best every day,
I'm sorry, I think you mean has you feelsing your best every day?
and it can help you too. Become a member today and go to feels.com/check. You'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's, now listen,
Mhm.
FEALS.com/check. Get it, become a member, 50% off your first order with free shipping, feels.com/check.
Sorry, I think you mean feels.com/check.
But yes, as you noted, the cat in the Japanese version is voiced by a woman, which is typical for Japanese
Yes.
depictions of talking cats, and is like basically like, Kiki, take it easy. Hey, Kiki, watch out. You don't want to do that. Like very conscientious, very kind of cautious.
Not very a good character, good friend, not very like comic reliefy.
Right. Whereas it,
She has
the
a
film,
couple like good lines.
yeah, she's got some riposts.
Yeah, yes.
Totally.
But but in the American version, it's like Phil Hartman as like Salem from Sabrina.
Exactly.
Like wisecrack.
It's such a different vibe.
And
Right.
and they now I think on the Blu-ray, their DVD, they've cut a lot of these out.
Oh, really?
But at the time, Disney added extra Phil Hartman jokes even when
yes. When the cat's mouth is not moving.
correct.
Right. Yeah.
So now I think they've been reduced.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, the casting doesn't make sense because we all know that all cats are girls and all dogs are boys. That's science.
Oh, we know
That's how God wants
What
it.
about Salem? Salem Saberhagen from Sabrina. Great character.
Yeah, but that show's a fantasy.
gender.
It's
is
not
a
real. It's a
construct.
TV show.
That's true. I just want to bring up Salem.
Look,
Come on, Salem. He was so funny. He'd be
Frank-
like, I don't think so.
I like when he would read the newspaper.
He had little glasses.
Yeah.
How's he turning the pages?
I don't know, but I want to know.
Framke, I agree with you. Gender is a construct. I'm obviously just joking, but also all dogs are boys and all cats are girls, and I'm not going to back down on this issue.
All dogs go to heaven. All cats go to.
I have science to back it up.
Here,
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Ben. Oh my god, his face when I just said
I
that.
want to talk.
I have a cat.
I want to talk
She
some more.
goes to heaven too.
Yes, she does. She goes right to heaven.
Yeah. No,
When-
I was just.
in
it was a
due
joke.
time.
It was joking.
Do you
Her
know-
name is Pig, and she's nice.
That's
I was-
good.
yeah.
That's good.
I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna give you some more Miyazaki. I
Great.
love it. I want to make Ben cry again.
Let's do it.
The old lady who bakes Kiki a
Oh,
cake is a
God.
nice acquaintance.
Okay, Ben's already crying.
But listen. But what gives Kiki more pleasure is the
Closing
first
his eyes, I'm
person.
gonna hold back the tears.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
What gives Kiki more pleasure is the first person who visits her room as a friend, not a landlord. That's like when her home becomes real in Miyazaki's eyes. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like when you move to the big city.
And you make that first friend.
Right.
And you have them over.
Ursula.
And you're, like, excited to like show them your stuff.
Right.
or
You know,
your
Miyazaki-
How you
furniture.
set things up.
He's talking about Ursula, the cool artist girl.
Yeah, and she's so cool.
She
Ursula.
understands Kiki's anguish in an affirming way. I think these aspects are much more valuable to Kiki than whether her business will succeed. This is the same for the animators around me. They go out drinking late at night and they say, maybe I should call it quits. Maybe I should go back to my hometown and give up. They too are searching for a place of refuge and trying out different ways of living. But it's not easy for them to regain their vitality. They repeat their feelings. Things don't work out. They can't work out. We can't help but think this is a disappointment in our path in life. Those reading the book will go on a similar path. But people often turn out to be helpful when we get to know them. Hey, that's the theme of the film.
Okay, so now
Miyazaki is a genius.
I'm getting misty-eyed too, because now I'm thinking about the fact that Miyazaki made this movie to make his employees feel better.
It's just one of those
They
things.
go
where,
out drinking and they get
you
sad.
hear about what a taskmaster he is and how
Yeah.
intense it is to work for him, and like the Ghibli animators like work their fingers to the bone
He's
and
a
all.
very deeply emotionally intelligent person.
Exactly. When you hear him talking like that, you're like, if I worked for him, I would be obsessed with him. Like
Yeah.
I would, everything he said, I would treasure as like a little pearl of wisdom. You know?
Well, look, not that it's 1-to-1, but that's like in a far more sort of how would I put this? Obtuse, maybe sort of antagonistic way. That's how people talk about like Lorne Michaels.
yeah,
Where
sure.
they're like,
right,
this
right,
guy's
right.
like scary and he
He's
works
kind of
people
like
hard.
weird ultimate dad.
But there is like an
where you're
obsessive thing
scared
where you're
about
like,
him, but also
You want to make dad proud.
you go on like a walk with him and he says something and you're like, oh my god,
That's
like
the
he's like
thing.
summed it all up.
Right.
Like yeah,
it's
right.
why like fucking Marin always asked the Lauren question,
Right.
whether they auditioned for it or whether they were on the show for a minute or whatever, because everyone has it. Like I have the fucking story from like meeting him once where like everyone has the like he says some weirdly profound thing to you
Right.
that rings in your head. I've told you what he said to me, right?
I don't think so. Try silent.
He said try silence. No, I think about this all the fucking time. Had gotten cast on the Mulaney pilot. It felt crazy that I had gotten that role.
Yeah.
And we had to do like a rehearsal thing at the NBC Rockefeller Center. And I was like hanging out there. And someone knocked on the door and was like, Lorne would like to meet you.
Oh my god.
Right. So it's like, you're like, what?
Yeah, right.
And go down
Hi.
corridors, like 4 offices,
Right.
whatever.
They make the popcorn.
Truly.
Right.
Standing in the vestibule outside his office.
Did he make you wait like a long time?
No, well, this is what happened. So there's like the vestibule outside his office, and I'm in the hallway outside the vestibule, and the vestibule is like all the Lornettes, which are like his 10 female assistants, right? And he's standing.
Seems healthy.
Yep. In the door frame of his office, looking out the vestibule at all the Lornettes, and he's just listing. And he's like, and remember, we have to put 2 tickets aside for John and do this, and we need to see what the edit is like on that. Griffin, come inside. No need to be scared. We need to cut 15 minutes.
He could feel it. He could feel
I
the
was
fear.
like, I have to be outside of his range of peripheral vision
Right,
here.
right.
And I went, oh, no, I'm not scared. Which I'm sure
Great thing to say.
really sold him.
Always a good thing to say to someone.
No,
I'm
you
not
are.
scared.
You are.
I think he bought it.
Sure.
And then I walk inside. So he didn't make me wait. But then once I was in there, there was 3 minutes of silence as he made popcorn and arranged his office. And he was like, have a seat.
You have not told this story before.
I've never told you
I don't
this
think
before.
so.
I've definitely not told it on the podcast, but I thought I told you personally.
Maybe you told me what he said, but I don't remember all this preamble.
The only chair
There's
in the
always preamble
office
to a Lorne story.
is not facing him at the desk. It's like facing the other wall.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to be presumptuous enough to move the chair.
Right.
This feels like one of those tests that people talk about in these auditions. So I sit in the chair and then I rotate my entire upper body.
Sure.
So my legs are
That's
pointing in
definitely
one
better.
direction and my torso is pointing like 60 degrees in the other
like a
direction.
Gumby
Right,
situation.
right.
Totally. And then he sits down with a bowl of popcorn. It's like, okay.
Are you allowed to eat the popcorn?
No, it's for him. He's like hugging it. And he says, so how do you feel?
Just in general?
That's the only question, right? And I go, well, I feel incredible. I've been like, struggling at this for like, 5 or 6 years now and just auditioning and doing shows in basements and trying to get anything.
Sure.
This is the first time I was ever getting close to like getting on a TV show. And somehow I tested for these 2 other shows and I didn't really like either one. And I would have been like happy to do it because I would have been happy to be working. But the idea of having to be on that for 7 years is like a little terrifying. when you're signing that contract. And then this show is just like, I think it's so funny, and everyone on it is so incredible, and this character I love. And like, so I'm not just happy that I have a job. I'm happy because it's like something I actually want to do.
Solid answer.
And he, without a pause, goes, well, you'll get sad eventually.
Fuck.
And I think about it all the fucking time because, and I don't know how he knew this, but I genuinely, when I got the Mulaney pilot, I went, oh, cool. So my depression is solved.
I mean, fair
He was
enough.
like, meh.
Yeah. And I didn't say that to him, but I was
But
like,
you were sort of saying, like, I'm feeling great. Like,
Right, I
I
was
feel
like-
like I finally
right.
did it.
I have been struggling with severe depression and anxiety
Right,
my entire
right,
life,
right.
but all I needed was one role on a
I
sitcom.
needed to buck.
My brain's going to be perfect now. And then he just proceeded to go, well, you know, I mean, you'll learn the craft. You know, you'll have to figure out how to play out to the audience and find your voice and this and that. And just like said stuff for like, a minute and then went, you'll be fine. And then stood up and patted me on the shoulder and went, I'll see you in LA.
And that was it.
And the only other time he talked to me was after the pilot. He went, good work. But
go.
you'll get sad eventually, I think, anytime I'm like feeling too hot
Oh.
on myself or about
See, like,
anything.
I know
Working
Lorne
for
is
Lorne
this,
is, like,
is
not-
this tricky cultural figure at this
Yes,
point.
Very
but,
tricky.
I think one thing is obviously SNL's a big thing, so SNL. But also, we watched and loved a sitcom for many years about that kind of a relationship in 30 Rock. You know what I mean? Even though if it's not a direct Lorne parody,
Yeah.
it's that parody of going into the big leather-bound office and like having this sort of like insane rich person.
Well,
Right, like in the first season
yeah.
especially, it's
Yes.
just like so.
I mean, that dynamic
removed.
in 30 Rock
I'll
is
say,
so great.
just the other little note about this story, when we had to do the rehearsal in New York, they were like, it's going to be in one of Lorne's offices because he's got like 6 offices in 30
Because
Rock.
he's like in charge of Broadway video and he's in
Right.
charge of, yeah.
The one that we went to, which is the one that he apparently does not spend much time in because he spends most of his time in that SNL office, which is the one with the big window looking out to the stage, which is where I sat in the position that probably led to my back injuries 6 years later. The office that we met in was the Jack Donaghy office, 100%.
Really?
Like it was
Right,
92% accurate.
Is there like a secret
Rep-
bathroom? Secret
Yes.
bathroom?
Yes. We walked
Love a
in,
secret
and
bathroom.
Mulaney said, I wanted to have this rehearsal in here
Right.
because I worked here for 8 years and I never got to use the secret bathroom.
Right.
And he hit the wall and the door
Oh,
opened and
wow.
he used the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Funny.
Good for him.
He made me watch. He was like, Griffin, come in.
Come look. See?
You're gonna watch me pee.
God, I mean, I will say that like ever since working at Variety, plugs.
Variety.
Yeah,
Yes.
Buffalo Biz.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But I have to list all the exec producers for every show, which
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
had to do before,
Sure.
and it's made me so much more aware of like so many things. First of all, how many are usually is just men all around, maybe one woman, and then they're men. Have you heard of them? You're not great.
Wait a second. What are you talking about? I'm so great.
Him?
But he's on like everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lorne?
you just forget Lorne. I mean,
Yeah.
you just forget like how many things he's doing and how many things he
Yeah.
like won't let people do without him. You know, that sort of thing. I mean, I will say the one time I've ever seen him was at like a CAA Christmas party, like 2013 or something.
Sure.
Never seen more like high profile celebrities in my life. I was a +1. I was not prepared. I was in like all Forever 21 gear, like with my glasses. Which I will also say, if you're ever in an LA party, dress down, people will be like, who's that? That doesn't have to care.
Right.
It worked. It should not have. I was like, ooh, I'm a writer's assistant. Please don't talk to me. I've never seen more celebrities in a smaller space in my life. And still the table that was getting the most attention was like Fallon and Lorne sitting at this like round booth. And everyone was just kind of going up, paying
The
tribute.
Golden Court thing.
It was
Yeah.
totally that.
Right.
And it was so noticeable even in this environment. Like
Yeah.
that was the nexus, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone was orbiting around that booth.
Well, that's like
No one should have that much power, is my take. It's too much.
I agree. No one man should have all that
Well,
power.
the
It's the
thing
thing
is-
that I said famously in my song Power.
That's right.
Off the album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Right. It was after you had that beautiful dark twisted fantasy.
I feel like no one ever gives me credit for that album. It's crazy.
You were the one who wanted to talk about all the lights.
I got a
And you
perfect
did
score
it.
from Pitchfork, and then now everyone acts like I didn't write and perform all of that album. It's like literally we've forgotten.
Bitch, you're a monster.
Oh!
God, remember when that album was good and it was just like, oh yeah, Kanye West, he's great. We love him.
Yeah.
He does the music.
Simpler time.
Come on, let's relitigate every fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
Come on, let's do it.
No, I was going to say, that famously at the SNL after party, Lorne just holds court wherever, the location changes, but he finds his little corner table or booth, and he sits there until 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
it's like
good.
a big deal. Like the writers, the new cast members are like, maybe this is the week that he like invites me over to the booth.
We got such like scraps of affection.
But they're like, he never goes home.
Right.
He stays out the whole time. He outlasts everybody.
Yeah.
And he just sits there in that corner and has a conversation.
He likes walks too. You hear about the walks.
Yeah.
Mulaney and Seth Meyers did a podcast a while back, and they talk about the walks.
Yeah.
Like there's some sort of like walks they took with Lorne once.
But there's the mafia thing. I mean, you talking about how many things he ends up as an executive producer on. There are these stories of like, yeah, when I was like a cast member and then I like made my first movie, it wasn't with him. And he like, it took me 8 years
and he
to like
he
win
doesn't
back his
forget.
trust.
He does not forgive.
Right. And now he does it with like all of the TV shows, like,
Yeah.
you know, Shrill and all these things. Like he's sort
Other
of
two.
right.
Which
right.
one?
Other two? The other two?
Right. Anyone who like comes out from under him, it's like you're gonna stay
Los
in the family,
Spookies.
right? You know, at least for the
So
first thing.
Most of Spookies fucking
really
rule.
good.
Yeah.
You like it?
Most of
Spookies?
Spookies is so funny.
So funny. It's so
Have you
funny.
seen Most of Spookies?
I've only seen the first 2 episodes. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, I need to watch
It's
the
such
rest.
a like.
That was a hard
Everyone
one.
thinks it sucks.
It seems
He's
complicated.
doing double thumbs
as the
down.
Setup.
Yeah.
You get right into it.
No, I mean, yeah, they're just like, this is what it's about. This is what
We're
we're
just
doing.
like a horror game.
That was a hard one to review because I was just like, oh, how do you describe
It is
the
true.
show?
Horror gang is a good way to put
It's
it.
also it is so thoroughly strange.
I know.
Yeah.
And in a
Love
way that's not unexpected, but that you're just kind of like, this is incredible that like Julio had this wave where it's like, wait, the New York Times is writing about a guy who writes
it.
sketches,
Does the weird sketch
who
on
isn't
SNL
credited?
that you
Like-
know, right? Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That someone like put all of this together, and
And
then
then
clearly they
Zinnemann.
just gave him this weird blank check to be
And
like,
Ana Fabrega.
yes, you can make like a
I-
Spanish.
So funny.
Funny
I
and
got a
weird.
crush on
And to do it in
Framke.
Spanish, and I remember
Don't say
they were
that
like,
on
Got a crush
Mike.
on her. I'm sorry. She's so cute. She's the best.
She rolls.
She rules.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
One of America's best hat comedians.
Such good hats.
Such good hats.
Such good hats. You know who's got a cool piece of headwear? Kiki. She's got a big bow.
I was
Got
going to
big
say,
butt.
thank you for bringing me on your Lorne Michaels podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously. Let's get off of Lorne.
We can, you know, if as long as we're on cute people, I can talk about Kiki because, not Kiki, Ursula. Let's talk about Ursula.
Ursula.
For a second. Look, I don't go looking for queer subtext. Sometimes it just finds me, but I feel like their dynamic is very much like the like cute babysitter, the older babysitter. You're like, I just want to be this
Yeah,
person.
but also, do you know who fucking voiced her in the American version?
I do. Go ahead though.
Janine Garofalo.
Yeah, she did.
They found the subtext.
Yeah.
She's like
That's
the cool
cool.
alt girl. You
Yeah,
know, she's like,
exactly.
I don't really live in town. I'm a little too weird for town.
Yeah.
You know, I'm out here.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
You get immediately. Kiki's just like, oh my God, you're so cool. I just want to be you. She's going to, like, 5 years be like, oh, now I see why.
Yeah.
right. In 5
I
years,
get
she'll
it.
it all together. Right.
Yeah.
The final puzzle. She'll be like, Tombo, we're more of like a friend dynamic.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, you know what? I feel like that's true, though. Like, his stupid friends, his terrible friends who might as well just be like James Spader in that convertible. They
Yes.
suck. They're
Yes.
just like these
His
preppy
friends kind of
assholes.
suck. Yeah.
He does have the
I'm like,
pretty
why
and
are
pink
you
thing.
friends
Yeah.
with them? And I think that's probably part of why he's like, Kiki seems like cool and fun, and my friends suck. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, like, what a bunch of dorks. He's like, yeah, you want to come to this party? We're the Flying Club. We're amateur propeller makers. Like, it's not like they're, like, you know, dropping ecstasy.
I mean, maybe they are. The two things are mutually exclusive.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
But
like,
I just feel like their dynamic was always very friendly. They're like, oh, is that your girlfriend? He's just like, I don't know. She's just like a cool witch.
I know, and
I don't know
he's
that
so
he's
nice
like-
about her.
He's so
right.
nice.
He doesn't seem to enjoy hanging out with them. Like, he doesn't seem to dislike
They're
them.
the kids, right? So you got to
Right.
kind of have to hang out, I guess.
I sort of had that. Like, I mean, in middle school, all my best friends were the guys on the basketball team. Because I went to
What?
a very small school and we had almost no shared interests.
Okay.
You know? And it was just like, well, these are like the 6 guys I hang out with. I go to a school with 40 people per grade.
So then when you like meet someone who you actually like have things in common with, you're like, oh, this is a whole new thing.
It was sort of like what you were talking about, where it was, I can't talk about it on this podcast, but I went off to summer camp and I met cool older kids. And then I was like,
hold on.
yeah,
Sirens,
Cut
I
it
don't
out. It's sirens. Red alert. Yeah. Send out an Amber Alert to everyone's phone.
Flash flood warning.
But no, then I came back to school and everyone was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, I figured out what I actually like, you know?
It's big.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like, oh, she flies. She's going to get it. Like, she'll get my, like, weird
That's the
flight thing.
I think he's like, this is the kind of person I actually want to be friends with, as opposed to the friends that are based on geographical convenience.
Right. But she's got in the early scenes, whenever he's like, hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? She's like, oh, Jesus. Where she's just like, I don't know. I don't know what this is that you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not ready to take that at face
You're
value.
suspiciously
Something's
nice.
up. Right, exactly. Whereas like at the bakery, the pregnant lady is nice, obviously. You know, Osono, right? But she's gonna earn her keep to live there.
I love when she makes a little Kiki in the bread.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
See, again, Showstopper.
Showstopper.
Bake Off
That is a
Showstopper.
Yeah.
Maybe Kiki's. Maybe Osono should do like an all Miyazaki like
Oh my God.
baking show.
How weird would it be if like Ghibli was like, yeah, our next project is a 10-part animated reality cooking
Oh my
competition.
God. I'm in. Are you
10-part
kidding?
I mean, Mary Berry and like Zeniba from Spirited Away are close cousins. There's a lot of overlap. Wait, what was I going to say?
I just like
Osono.
the idea of Miyazaki being
Well-
like, it is a reality show. We aim to represent reality in its purest form.
Triangle Bread Boy. Ben, that's what you called him?
Oh,
Well-
Chunky Boy.
No, I was calling him a chunky bread boy.
Chunky Bread Boy. I'm sorry. But he looks like a big triangle.
The upside down triangle shaped like Gaston.
Yes.
He is. I like that he is never really speaks, but he's
He
just
says
grumpy.
look once.
Yeah, right. I
But
love him.
he's emoting so much energy and just
He's-
like
When he's showing off for the cat.
He's kinda-
he's so good at his craft too. You can tell that
And he's proud of it.
He's
There's
got
a lot-
like
he has a lot of
Nicolas
respect.
Cage and Moonstruck vibe. You know what I mean? Where he's just like it's all
Well, he's
going
not
into
that
the
unhinged.
bread. Well, right, and no
All
one's
going
talking to
into
him
bread.
though. And then like in the post credit scene, as Ben just discovered as we were watching it with him.
Oh, no, me too. I didn't.
You realize like
I
oh
didn't
he's
notice.
the mother of Osono's baby, the father of Osono's baby.
Gender's a
Oh.
construct.
Like they're together.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. I remember, like, I was watching with my roommate, and I was like, "Oh, I like
'Cause
that." You don't know, like, she's just like having this kid, and
She's
then I was like,
about to
"Oh
have a
no,
kid,
they are,
and
they are
he's like,
together."
oh, like, and they go
That's
off.
that's
And then
the,
you see him with the baby.
that's the post-credit scene.
There's one other post credit scene.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
there?
She sends a letter, like her parents are
Oh
reading
yeah,
a
she
letter.
sends a letter to her parents where she's like, yeah, anyway, life's tough, but I'm figuring it out.
I have some more confidence now.
Right.
It's
And
fine.
then
I
Thanos
miss
says,
you.
I'll do it myself.
And fucking Nick Vallelonga shows up and he's like, hey, I'll take 6 loaves. You're kind of like a virtuoso. It's Italian for pretty good.
We need more Villa Longa.
We do. Vallelonga's got to come back. Bring him
Bring him
in
on the
MCU.
pod.
Well,
Hey, Tony Stark, this guy, he's smart.
maybe,
Makes this iron suit. Like, I don't know. I feel like my Vallelonga, I need to like.
look, That's
Run
Amore
around
is
the
going to
room.
happen.
That's Amore is going to happen. That's, oh boy.
starring
We-
Patty Amore.
We don't need that. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Here, I want to read another Miyazaki quote.
Okay.
All right.
I am very self-conscious.
Oh,
Sometimes I can't even ask a train station attendant if I'm at the correct exit. Sometimes I'm too embarrassed to stand still and look around to figure out which street I should take in town. I keep trudging along the wrong street and end up nowhere near my destination. I've done a lot of foolish things like that in my life. I never thought I wanted to depict that sort of thing in a film, but at my age, I've come to look back on such things objectively. Foolish behavior can be quite heartwarming. So that's sort of his vibe with Kiki, where it's like, look, she's kind of a wacko sometimes, right?
Just figuring it out.
Just figuring
She's
it out.
eating pancakes.
And
She's sleeping in a dusty room in the attic.
Ben is
catching a
sobbing.
cold. Ben is a dehydrated husk. He's cried all the water in his body.
just a tumbleweed.
He's just a skin
Yeah,
flap
it looks
now.
like when SpongeBob
Skin
is
flap.
dried out.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's really good about how I feel like when she first gets to the city and everyone's like, "Oh, holy shit, a witch!" And then they're kind of like, "Cool, witch," and then they just
Yeah.
keep going. It feels like that moment in like Spider-Verse where he's just, they like crash land and everyone's just stepping over him and he's just like, "Thanks, New York." Like,
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah,
And she's
I
a little
love
bit
that.
like, "But I'm a witch," and they're like, "Yeah, that's cool."
I just think there's so many things like that. Like, as I already said, the not becoming a fight between her and Tombo. Like,
Mhm.
all these like dumb things that other movies ring out for conflict that are never the fun part of the movie. You know?
Mm-hmm. You're just like, "Oh, we have to get through this thing to get to the
God,
next
wait,
thing."
Come on, get to the part I like. You know?
Yeah, but she's just like sad sometimes.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
yeah, because after when she doesn't meet his friends, but he's like, "Come on the blimp with my friends," and she's like, "Would rather not. Feel like it's gonna not be fun for me." And then she just gets sad, and she's like,
Yeah.
"I don't know why I'm sad."
Look, and that's a mood.
It really
I relate
is.
to that, and I feel like I very rarely see movies that are just like this objectively quote unquote fun activity is something that's going to bum me out and make me feel bad about myself.
Right. And then, she does the self-care move of not doing it, but then she's
Right.
like, "Oh, I should have had fun with this thing."
You know what movies don't depict?
Kiki.
Here's the specificity of it. It's not that, if she goes there, they're going to pick on her and she'll
No.
feel bad. It's
She's
just
like, "Oh, I'm
this
not gonna
vibe
be-"
is going to make her feel shitty.
She's just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna have to like perform for these people."
Right.
I'm just not into it. And then
Been
she does
there.
the face flop, which is one of the best moments in cinema, I think, ever.
Yeah.
Just like this and I love the lead up to it because I had kind of forgotten. I've seen it so much as a GIF now that I just like in my head, she just goes to her room and flops down. But there's such a lead up the walk to her bed is so slow. She's so
good
sad.
at depicting a hard day.
He lets it sit, right? Like it's like 30 seconds of her like looking around, being like, "Ugh, I don't feel good."
Nothing fucked up
Or-
happened to her.
or-
But she's
No.
just like, you know what? I'm out.
okay.
I'm out of energy.
Hey, you know what's
it was,
hard?
I was drained.
You know what's hard? Being alive.
Yeah, exactly.
For
That's
everybody.
exactly it.
All the time.
God. And then when she's sick too, like you get how fucking sick she is.
Yeah.
She's not gonna die. She just feels like garbage.
Yeah.
That part where like the cat's like, "What about food?" and she's just like,
There it is. Go have some.
just points.
And isn't that the last time that they like talk? I think it is.
I think it might
Because
be.
that's really sad.
Yeah.
I remember that is the thing that fucked me up the most when I first watched this, and I was younger, but like it still is so much when like at the end she gets her confidence back, she learns how to fly again, but she still can't talk to the cat.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's kind of this moment where she like gives him a little hug and she's like, all right, this is our dynamic now.
Mhm.
And it is a little bit like she figured out some stuff, but she is growing up anyway. And
I know, but it's just like it's that sort of thing as well. Like when you read those books about kids who have some kind of power,
Mhm.
and then like like it happens in his Dark Materials where she
was
loses
thinking
the
about that one a
ability to
lot
read the
during this.
alethiometer, and I'm like, when I was a kid, I was like, that is fucking crushing. She could
so sad.
read this compass thing that told her like the truth of all, like and now it's like, well, you know what, you hit puberty, so you got a boyfriend, but you lost a magic power.
That's also
It's kind of like the first time you like try and play a game that was really fun when you were a kid, and now
Yeah.
you're just like, no, it's not doing it for me anymore, and it's so sad.
Oh god damn it.
Oh, are you gonna? Oh,
No,
I'm gonna get you.
cry. But like
Gonna
I
make you
just
cry.
like I was just on vacation, and my friends came up for the weekend, and they brought their 2-year-old, and like he's still in that
Aw.
phase where like you blow some bubbles, he's gonna
Yeah.
lose
And
his
that's it.
goddamn
That is
mind.
all he
That's
needs.
just also you get older and the world gets less magical.
Ugh,
Like there's
God
that thing
damn
when
it.
Toy
you're
Story
a
shit.
kid. Yeah.
Like,
No, but
it-
that's like-
really
that's the thing. Like I did genuinely used to believe. I'm like, I know everyone tells me that toys don't come to life.
But what if?
What if?
On the other hand,
Right, and there's
they
that
do
shit.
though.
Like you have parents all the time telling you like dragons are not real, and you're like, I get it. But my dad doesn't know everything.
Well, like, you haven't seen them.
my
That
dad
doesn't
can't
mean they're
remember
not
where he
real.
parked the car. There might be dragons. That's why Imagine Dragons are single-handedly keeping the magic alive.
That's true. That's true.
They're
You gotta
yelling
keep that.
at us. They're going, please.
The thunder
Imagine!
and the lightning. Isn't that your favorite song?
Oh,
What
yeah. The thunder, lightning.
I want Valalonga sings Imagine Dragons as an album.
I want that like karaoke album.
2-time Academy Award winner.
What's
How
the-
long is like Christmas album?
Hey, you got this thunder, lightning.
Thunder and the lightning.
Maron, this lightning. Oh my god.
It's a pizza pie.
He's never that crazy. He'd be
Beg
like,
to
hey, yo,
differ.
what are you fucking racist? I never said it's the pizza pie. I'm a fucking grown man. I parked my car by the fire hydrant and put a bucket over it like everybody else. Does he do that?
Maybe Green Book should have won Best Picture.
Yeah, one day I'm going to have some fucking kid who's going to write a story about me and win 2 Oscars? 2? Kubrick has 1. And it was for visual effects.
He got the one for
2001.
2001. Wow.
That's Kubrick's only Oscar.
God, Valalonga.
Okay,
That was a
Another
pretty good
thing-
impression, right?
That was good.
Valalonga turning into an Oscar nerd.
Okay, another thing that Dave and I were talking about, what I'm really loving about Miyazaki movies is like just watching them make the characters make a cup of coffee or go grocery
Yeah,
shopping.
Ben was talking about this. He's totally right.
And there's just something about how it's like teaching you how to live
Mm.
and like depicting normal activities, but showing the ritual of it and how special it could be. This is how it is to be a human. It's so nice and quiet, and I love this movie.
You really love this one. Is this your fave so far? Or you did like how big Totoro was?
I did like Totoro.
And Ponyo loved Ham. I mean, almost every movie we've watched, Ben has later texted us to be like, I love Ponyo. Totoro's so big. Whatever, right?
Yeah, I like Kiki the best. I think what's going to
Oh,
happen...
Kiki number 1.
But I'm going to keep just liking them. I'll
Right.
have to get to the end and then really have it.
But you know
definitive
what? I mean,
roast.
this is the last whimsy for a while. Because like Mononoke, Spirited Away, Howl, those are weirder. Those are more like emotionally like kind of dense and like
Ponyo's
dark.
whimsical, but we've already recorded that one.
Ponyo is obviously right, like super shot of
Right.
whimsy, but we've done that. And then
Yeah.
The Wind Rises is Miyazaki being like, was I a bad father? Did Japan ruin itself by going to war? You know, like you're like, whoa, hi-oh, Jesus. Well, come on, let's do like Caterpillar movie. What the fuck? Like,
That movie's gonna destroy me.
that
isn't
movie's fantastic. I love that movie.
This one's really just like the everyday, like you were saying,
Yes.
very like
Yeah.
everyday little experiences. Like, I mean, I
100%.
mentioned the houses before, but I just love all the backgrounds of it, like all the detail, like everything in that grocery aisle that she touched is so good and specific. All the little rice cookers. And I mean, obviously, Gigi pointing out the mug with himself on it is the cutest. And then you see it later because she buys it. But I don't know. There were so many kitchens in this movie
Great
I wanted.
kitchens.
You know
Kitchen
what? Like,
corner.
talk
But
about a
I-
Nancy Meyer's kitchen, the like grandmother's kitchen with the copper pots.
The copper pots. But I love that
Good
thing
kitchen.
where the grandma's like, you know what? I do like the old wood burning oven.
Yeah.
I don't like this electric thing. Yeah, let's fucking open it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of like, yeah.
Like the practicality of that
And
background.
the same with
like you'd think it was just like
Ursula
a little
in
detail of
in
like
her
the
like
electric-
rustic house.
Yeah.
I love Ursula's house, obviously.
Ursula is cool.
Ursula rules.
I've got a crush on her.
I've noticed.
I mean, hard same.
I picked up on the subtext, folks. Oh, David's doing the finger.
You said I couldn't work it in,
I said he couldn't.
but you
work
forgot
it.
about Ursula and her cool
He
painting
did the
with a
boner
unicorn.
finger. Yeah.
Oh, and I mean, the style of that painting is so beautiful.
I know it's wild though,
and that's one of
it
those
doesn't
things-
look like the movie at
Well,
all.
it doesn't look like the
it's,
movie.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so different. And I feel like it's so hard. I feel like this in every movie, TV show, whatever. It is so hard to show someone being good at something because you like build something up so hard.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like you hear Carrie Bradshaw's like columns and you're like, this sucks. Like you get paid how much for this bullshit?
Isn't that the worst feeling in a movie when like someone has some sort of like craft like
It's
that?
usually writing because we're narcissists.
Right, but even when it's like music or it's like they're performing or they're doing
Yeah.
this and you watch it and you can't figure out whether the movie wants you to think they're good or not.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like
It's-
you're like, is this supposed to be the scene is like they're boffing it or like
I feel like that was one of those things that made Mad Men immediately good because like they build up John Draper so much as being good at his
Yeah.
job, and then you see and you're like, oh, you're really fucking good
right?
at your
He's
job.
really
Right.
like
I know.
and that's hard.
Where they're
That
like,
is
God,
so
this
hard.
guy's amazing. You're like, how good is he?
Yeah.
And
Right.
he's
So
like,
like,
I have an idea for cigarettes. And you're like, fuck, I want a cigarette.
Smoke a whole
Give me
pack,
that
just
fucking
light a
Lucky
pack on
Strikes
fire.
right now.
Can't wait
I
to
don't
be
think about you
addicted.
at all.
Yeah.
He's in Top Gun.
I know.
I forgot about that when I saw like Ham just across the screen. I was like,
That's right.
shit.
Tanya
I was too
loves
busy
Ham.
looking for Glenn Powell.
Mhm.
That's
Tanya wants to see Top Gun.
yeah. That's such a
Tanya loves
crazy good performance.
Mad Men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Hammond.
I was thinking because as the Emmy nominations were being announced, and they were actually like pretty good, and they nominated a
was
lot of shows that I watched and liked,
So annoyed. I wanted
which
to
was
write
sort
like
of
a annoyed
surprising
column.
usually
you know?
I expected it to be like comedy series. We only nominated the Kaminsky Method. That was it. What else would we nominate? You know, but instead they actually were like pretty rational.
Best fight choreography in a comedy series. The nominees were great.
Those were especially.
Really good.
But I feel like I was like the last time I was truly invested in an Emmy win was when Ham won for the last season of Mad
Yeah.
Men, and you were like, "There's no way he's winning. They've never get," and he won, and you were like, "Oh my god, I feel like delighted for
it
him."
felt like they were gonna do the corral thing again.
Right, where they were like, and the winner is somehow James Spader, even though he wasn't on anything this
Right.
year. We're just gonna,
Yeah.
And
bring
also
him
just,
up.
like knowing how much Ham kind of killed himself for that part. Like that
Yeah, of
part
course.
fucked him up.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever fully coming back from that.
No,
No.
I don't think we should
It's
always
like-
reward that, but like he deserved something.
It's
for
like
that.
Kate Blanchett playing Blanche.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's that phenomenon we talk about where sometimes people merge a little too much with the character.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
totally.
like- my friend Alex Perlin, shout out. We used to always talk about that phenomenon as the Bradley Cooper effect
Sure.
Mhm.
because of his run of playing jerky guys in comedies.
Right.
And we were like, he's never going to get out of this. He spent too many years playing the jerky best friend or the boyfriend of the love interest. And now I just kind of think he's a douche. And it's unbelievable how you
How
now
he proved
can't
so wrong.
How he became
reconcile
David's
that.
husband?
Yeah, when you see him as the jerk, you're like, oh, right, he used to do this.
That's so
Right.
weird that he used to do
This
that.
used to be his vibe.
Yeah.
Like when you watch The Hangover now, you're like, who's that playing? I recognize Justin Barth, of course.
Right.
or
fucking
Wedding
legend.
Crashers.
Because
Yeah,
Hangover's the weird bridge there where it's like he's still doing that, but at least it's as the leading man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it's like, well, now what's his leading man career going to be? He can only play like.
Hey.
Right.
Hey.
Hey.
All you gotta do is trust me. That's all you gotta do. All right, I'll fucking trust him.
So glad we got
Merge 'em
Jackson Maine on
together.
here. We got it.
I mean, Jackson's a musician,
I got to trust me.
right? And Jackson could like crush some oxycodone in the back of the car.
He could and
what's
he did.
the line about the
Sure.
line?
The line about the line?
I call that boot dust.
Boot dust.
Yeah.
Dangerously.
'Cause
close
the
to
trunks
the
are
There's
line.
the line you love where he says,
We're having
like,
two different conversations right now.
That's fine.
That's over the fucking line or something.
It's over a fucking
They're talking about
line.
Star is
Is
Born
that the
because
line?
of course
Yeah,
they
that's
are.
Of course.
Yes. Yep. No.
We're talking about
absolutely.
boot dust because
Yeah.
we're
That's
Jersey
ugly.
trash.
That's
What?
ugly.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
ugly.
you.
That's
Thank
over
you.
the fucking line.
Oh my god, I was gonna make a Jersey reference earlier and I totally lost it.
Oh,
Here it comes. Are you ready?
Don't-
you got it?
Yeah.
Great.
The opening credits where she's like soaring over, everything, and then she soars over like the factories and it's like sooty and she has to like cough or whatever. It remind me so much of this. Here it comes.
Oh,
Steven Universe episode
Sure.
where they're like flying over all the cities and the towns and everything. I feel like it has to be a little bit related.
I mean,
I'm sure it
these
is.
movies are so influential
And
for
they make
animators.
they make a very rude Jersey joke where they like
What?
go over this like very sooty factory thing and he's like, "What's that?" And she's like, don't worry about it. It's just Jersey." And I was like, "What? New Jersey's in Steven Universe and they hate it?"
What if Kiki went to Jersey?
Oh boy.
They'd like bake her into a fucking sausage or something, right?
They would be nice to her.
They'd be nice to. They'd be like,
They'd
"Hey,
see
you're
that
all right."
she's salt of the earth.
They'd give her a meat sack.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Deliver this meat
Kiki
sack.
could just go to a lot of movies and be kind of.
They
helpful.
treat her like one of their own horribly. They give her the same lack of respect they give their native children.
He had more telling your fucking finger. His fucking finger, right? That's the line.
We have to disrespect ourselves first before other people can do it. It's kind of the Jersey way.
Yeah.
I get it.
We
It's how
wear
it is
that
with
chip
everyone.
on our shoulder. Proud.
Forever.
Oh, people from New Jersey have a chip on their shoulder?
Shut up, David.
You don't know.
I mean, there was a moment in Newcastle. This is a long time ago. I went to college in Newcastle,
What?
which is in the north of England. Yes. What? Yeah, I
What?
did.
What?
I know.
You went
crazy.
to college?
I went to a university.
Hold on. What?
I have a bachelor's degree
What?
In what, David?
in English literature.
Oh my god, you can read?
First time hearing of this.
Damn.
The reason I made it a movie podcast. We would have
Yeah,
been
you
talking
like the
books
watch-
for all these years if I knew you could read.
All right, start recording.
You don't use honey?
No.
What the hell?
What are we doing? This is an in media res ad because
We were
are
just talking about how we both
astonished.
use honey.
Been using it for
First
years.
of all, we're in the middle of an episode, but we stopped.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And then we cut out the part where we were lambasting you.
Yeah.
Because it got a little
Fool.
cruel.
I
It got a little,
don't. Tell me about
got
it.
te-
it got a
testy
little
in here.
vindictive.
Okay, I don't know.
We were really laying into
And if
him.
you want things to get a little less spicy and a little more sweet, why don't you put some honey on that dish? You know what I'm saying? Because I love honey.
Now, look, I shop online.
I do too.
We all do it. Get
Okay.
some steel books, perhaps.
Gotta get some steel
Oh,
books.
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, when you're shopping online,
Yeah.
you're overpaying.
And it's that anxiety constantly. I don't know if you feel this where it's like, oh God, is this going to be cheaper tomorrow?
Well, I'm always looking for promo
Is there a
codes.
sale coming?
Yeah.
Well,
Ben!
What?
you just add it to. It's a browser extension. You put it on your Chrome, your browser, your Mozilla, whatever you
It
want.
makes your
Right?
life so much easier.
Okay.
It's just there.
Yeah.
It finds coupon codes. You don't have to
Oh.
do anything.
Every time you go
No
onto a
way.
site, you go
It
into a
finds
store.
discounts across the webs.
It's
it
like,
applies
we're
them automatically.
scouring.
Like when you're checking out at a website, it'll just sort of be honey will pop up and be like, "We're just checking," and then if it finds anything, it applies it. And I don't really know how it works, but it saves me money anytime I shop. It might be magic.
Yeah.
I buy a lot of clothes. Like I should be using this. I
Yeah.
bet I could get like
100%.
discounts
100%.
more often. So I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I'm always like just Googling like blah 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 promo code, and it's usually inconclusive.
So, yeah, I'm on I'm buying steelbooks on Best Buy last night
Yeah.
at Griffin's behest. Honey's popping up, saving me dollars.
Yeah. And you
Love
need that.
it.
You need that. When you're buying steel, every penny counts.
And think about this: the average honey user saves $126 a year.
That's not nothing.
Okay, that's a pair of AirPods. Okay, that's $126 tacos or slices of pizza. This is a New York podcast.
That's 2 years subscribed to Blank Check special features on Patreon.
It's not a bad point. So 10 million people already saving with honey. It has 100,000 5-star reviews in the Google Chrome store. Time magazine calls it, quote, basically free money.
Yeah, I mean,
end
this
quote.
is it's like this
There's
is
no reason not to use it.
There's literally no reason.
It's
We've been
free
using
to
it for years
use.
because we're smart shoppers.
Free to use, installs on your computer in just 2 clicks, and it'll save you money so you can treat yourself to something nice. Join Honey for free at joinhoney.com/check. That's joinhoney.com/check.
Go get yourself some steel books, people. What else do we want to say about Kiki's delivery
I mean,
service?
speaking of digital fur technology,
digital fur technology.
Gigi's fur is great.
I love Gigi's
I'm
fur.
gonna go
No,
on a limb. Say
I
it's
think
good.
we're done with Kiki. I think we nailed it.
Do we want to talk about the final vehicle?
I mean, I think that's great. I think it's fun that she has a moment of sort of triumph that's not too ludicrous. Like, she's helpful. She catches the boy. But it's not like she doesn't do anything insane.
Sure,
like, she's just got to catch him because he's dangling from the airship.
It's a movie of small
That part was
victories.
like
Small
kind of
victories.
surprising to me. I don't know, because everything else felt like so small and low stakes and like every day that like this sudden sort of catastrophic blimp event, I was a little like, I don't know if I need it.
It is funny that there's a blimp there, but
don't
it
need
is a Miyazaki movie, and he's just like,
Yeah.
"There's
Yeah.
a fucking blimp."
Oh, we didn't talk about Jeff.
Jeff?
Jeff the dog.
Jeff the
Oh, Jeff the
Oh,
dog.
right.
Wow,
right.
no one cares about
I
Jeff.
know. You
Nah.
know what? I do love this
Jeff
run.
is
I mean, I
good.
like how hijinksy this is.
Well, just like Gigi's profusely sweating
I
is
love
so
it.
good.
And I like the
That's a
shadows
July
of
anxiety
Jeff.
mood,
They
I feel
keep on
like.
setting it up as like the shadow creeping over.
Yeah, and he's just a nice boy.
And the music's really like getting into trouble.
When Disney released this, a conservative Christian group called Concerned Women for America boycotted it because of the witchcraft.
I mean, and this is the same time that like Sabrina is busting up the ratings every Friday night. I can't imagine.
TGIF.
Yeah.
God, I have seen every episode of like the first 2 or 3 seasons of that show.
Oh,
like,
I watched
50
it every day after school.
Yeah, like the other ones, the later seasons I've seen, but like it was that early, the high school episode.
Can we talk about Clarissa Explains It All?
Oh,
She
the
explained
mic.
it all.
Ferguson is a little stinker.
That's true.
Okay, but Sam with the ladder.
Hey,
I
Sam.
aspire to be Sam. Sam rules.
Sam's cool.
Okay, I'm gonna break rules, but I gotta do it now. I don't mean to interrupt. Ben explains Clarissa explains it all. But if I can say something,
Okay.
at the
No
summer
wonder.
camp I went to,
Oh, Jesus
Nope.
Christ. Sam, was he the Sam there?
Ferguson was a counselor.
A counselor?
Wow.
Was he a
Jason
stinker?
Zimbler.
His
Was he
breath
cool?
stink.
No, he was a cool guy. He was
Oh,
the
okay.
theater director.
Nah,
Looks like it's
nah,
that
nah, nah, nah. Would people do that to him?
Yeah, he
Nah, 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 nah.
I'll say he wore it pretty well. And the other thing is, like, I feel like I was there as the generation that was most like, oh my God, I can't believe like Ferguson is a counselor. And then like 5 years later, no kids knew who he was.
Yeah,
You
I
know, like
right,
there was
right.
the
It
window where it was
and I
like,
assume he got older and he just didn't look like Ferguson as much anymore.
but when I
Right.
got there, I like couldn't get over it. Like it was like probably 5 years after the show had gone off the air and I had watched it when I was like 7.
He's bald now.
Yes. I mean, time catches up to us all.
It does. That's
Yes.
true.
But he directed a killer production of Man of La Mancha.
Hey, the impossible dream.
Yeah.
Kiki tries to live it out. Does she succeed?
Mhm.
Probably.
I think so.
I think, yeah.
I forgot about this other part that I really love with Ursula, besides just like her painting and her being the best.
When she sings about the poor unfortunate souls.
I mean, that's a great part.
It's just funny that there's these 2 movies came out the same year and they both have an Ursula.
Yes.
Extremely different Ursulas.
Yes.
But I love the part. I mean, her pep talk to Kiki, I feel like goes so well with like that the
Yes.
post-credit scene of the letter where she's like, she talks about, and this is such a real thing if you're like into any sort of like art or whatever, is that she was like, I was just imitating other painters before and not well. And now she's not. And I love that she was like, and it's not, she didn't say it was easier. She was like, it's harder, but it's
Yeah.
more rewarding.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that is such a good lesson. That is a hard lesson to learn, but it's so important. And for
Oh,
her
yeah.
to tell Kiki just like, you can't do what everyone's doing. You got to do your own thing. It's going to be hard though.
Ben is clenching his jaw so tightly, trying to
I'm holding it in. I'm
hold on
holding
to
it in.
eye dryness.
Yeah.
I like that idea of just like, you imitate the cool things that
Yeah.
you've seen. When she was like, I had to stop doing that because it wasn't actually good or helpful.
And also, when you go through this world on your own, you learn by example, and you learn from kind people that are also going to like teach you these lessons. And they're
many
so
good and kind
important
people.
because, especially when you're away from your parents, it's really scary because those are the people that usually have the answers, and now you have to figure it out.
But also, you try to replicate things based on end result rather than having understanding of the process that leads to that result.
Like she's just like, oh, I want to have a delivery service. It's going to be successful. And then she's like, oh, it's work.
Right. And that the people who are the most successful get there through a series of trial and errors, not through going like, this is my target, you know?
And to surround yourself with supportive people. Like one of the
Yeah.
things I love about the bakery owner, and I feel like a lot of adults in the Miyazaki I've seen, they find the kids so funny.
Yeah.
Like she's like, you're great and industrious and I believe in you, but also like, you're ridiculous. This is so funny.
Real
Like,
shut up.
she just always is bursting out laughing. It's so cute.
David, here's a crazy question. It
Shoot.
might be a swing and a miss.
Okay.
you think it'd be possible to pull up the VHS sales chart from when this came out?
I have no idea how you sort of find that, but I can Google.
I would Google exactly that. Kiki's Delivery Service VHS sales chart. I mean, I know people used to publish that shit.
Yeah, Lee's movie info.
Wikipedia just cites a lot of sales numbers.
Do you remember when the year was?
I can get it. It was 98.
98.
But they mention how well. Let me see.
This website hasn't been updated since 1998.
Yeah, that is for sure.
It was released to VHS September 15th, 1998.
Well, let's just plug Kiki in here and
Plug it in. Plug it in.
Okay, one other thing I wanted to mention is the play-by-play news broadcaster.
Oh, yes, when the blimp's going down.
Yeah, very funny. Like,
I
kind of
love that.
unnecessary, but it's just like a great...
This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen! Like, he's like,
I've
just
never
like...
seen anything like it.
He's like a Speed Racer announcer.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, Speed's doing it.
And,
He's defeating Racer X.
The grandmother's like friend, butler person, like she's like banging the TV, being like, "Oh, it always craps out the most exciting part." Like in her head, she's just like, "Oh, it's just like this fun TV show we're watching."
The
Like
bizarre...
reality TV. She just wants to see a little bit of drama.
Yeah, who doesn't?
The bizarre
I get it.
website I found did not have Kiki's info, although it did have some VHS sales info. But we can look up the Japanese total from...
Okay, yeah.
This is a re-release. Interesting.
Ooh.
Has it been released in China yet? Can we play that game?
Yeah, let's check. Let's click
These are
around.
tough. We're having
Yeah.
a tough round.
I
Of
mean,
box office
my
games
solution
here.
was that we were going to do the box office game for a Delivery Man. The Vince
Oh my
Vaughn
God.
vehicle
I
from
mean, look, I'm
2013.
not against that.
He is a delivery man after all.
Yes.
The thing he's
His
delivering
delivery
now,
service was.
It ain't mackerel pie.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or I was gonna say we could try to guess
Pokes at semen.
the top 5 Kirsten Dunst movies, but I feel like 3 of those are such gimmies that I don't know how much fun that is.
That's a fair question, though. What are
These are
the
an
other?
interesting few years for her too.
Right?
Yeah, but what are the other two?
Do you have it?
Give me 1 second. I'll have it. Kirsten Dunst, Kiki, to her friends.
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Dunst, to her enemy.
So it'd be Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3.
Clemens?
In that order, right?
In that order. Can you give me the domestic totals for those 3 movies?
First one's 403.
Bingo.
Wow.
The second one is 364.
373.
Okay. And the third one is like 335.
336.
Damn.
Woo!
Those are big movies for me.
Those are big. But however, what is number 4?
An idea.
It's a film that made $169 million.
So she's not the lead in it, right?
No, she's not.
Yeah.
In fact, I forgot she was in this one.
Wait. Can I guess?
Sure.
Is that okay? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
I think I know what it
You're-
is.
Is it Jumanji?
Nope.
Damn.
That's her
Hidden
number
Figures?
6. Hidden Figures.
There we go.
Wow.
Jumanji is number 6.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Jumanji's
It should be number 1.
6. Yeah.
Should be number... Well, Caroline has spoken.
It is a prequel to the most successful movie of all time.
That's right.
Can we talk about the new Jumanji trailer for a second?
Yeah, sure. It's the next level.
I don't understand what the hook of that movie is.
They're going to play a different one this time.
No, not really, because the hook is... I thought they would just do that. They go, we shake the bag up. It's the same 4 kids, but now they've each swapped roles.
Here's what I'm going to try and recount it because I only saw the trailer once. Can I give it a shot?
Yeah.
Okay, so the girl who was Karen Gillan,
Yeah.
same vibe.
It's 100% has not changed
She's just
at
Karen
all.
Gillan again.
Right.
Okay, Karen Gillan, same person inside her.
Right.
All right. Kevin Hart, this time the football player is Kevin Hart? No.
No, this time...
Last time the football player was Kevin Hart, like the big athlete guy
right.
was Kevin
This
Hart.
time, he's Jack Black.
This time he's Jack... Oh, is that true?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yep.
Take it easy, Jack.
Agreed?
Take it easy, Jack.
And I'll tell you, he's making choices.
I know, because Jack Black was like, "You love the stereotypical things I did when I was a girl in the last one,
Somehow
right?" And
you
everyone's
played
like,
it with a degree of
everyone's like,
nuance.
yeah,
that we all-
And he's like,
Here we
"Here
go."
and it's
Yeah.
like, "Well,
no,
Jack,
no, tread lightly, Jack."
yeah, I laid it on pretty thick last time. You did,
Right.
That's true, and it was good. People
Yes.
liked it. I can't deny that people
Don't
liked it.
necessarily take
And this
lessons
time the black
from
guy
that.
is me. He is. We didn't think about this, but yeah, he is. Therefore, where's he gone? He's gone. He's like runs into the jungle. All right. Okay, so those
You
are
got
those
4
two.
kids. The clean pitch is it's a Yankee swap. All 4 of them are swapped.
No.
That's it. Karen Gillan is fixed.
The Aaron Villain is the same.
Okay. The football player
Player is now Jack Black. Okay.
One of the kids, or 2 of them, have gone missing within
Two
the
of them
game.
are lost in digital feedback.
One
God
of them
knows.
went lost before them. The other one went in with them at the same time and
One of the
also got
wolves.
lost somewhere.
Yes.
Nick Jonas
Have you seen
is-
this trailer?
No.
Okay, great.
Nick
I
Jonas
hope this is all very helpful.
Yeah, I'm
Nick Jonas
enjoying
is
it.
still in it, even though
I didn't
They
actually see
freed
the
him.
movie.
Colin Hanks got out of it.
Yeah, I
Really,
don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
one of them's in Nick
I did not
Jonas
see
now.
it
Who
either.
knows?
I didn't want it to
I'm sure
denigrate
Nick
my
Jonas
original Jumanji experience.
Right.
Okay,
That's the pure.
So that's pure
and
cut
now
Jumanji.
Danny DeVito
Yes,
and Danny Glover
yes.
as grandpas.
Who
Two
happened to be
grandpas.
upstairs because apparently the rule now is that the video game captures anyone within a radius. It's not
too
just who's
powerful.
It
holding
obeys
the
property
controllers.
lines, Griffin.
But now The Rock is doing his DeVito impression, and Kevin Hart is Glover.
Yep.
And Hart's really doing Glover.
Hart's doing a good job, it looks like. And The Rock's doing his thing.
He's doing New York hot dog vendor.
Yeah.
Doing like, hey, come on here. So it's two new characters playing the two biggest stars.
Right.
One person playing the exact same character she
Right.
played last time.
Yes.
And then the worst combination of actor and character possible
Right.
from the original.
Now, here's
form.
my take.
Yeah.
Hollywood's having a transitional, difficult year,
Uh-huh.
right? Some things are hitting still, like the Marvels and the Disneys.
Yeah.
A lot of things are missing, okay? Right? Then we're not sure what's going to happen next.
Jumanji was this
Some-
insane,
right.
the highest grossing film in the
I know,
history of
I know.
cinema.
More,
So,
more,
yeah.
more.
Okay.
Some sequels are being made
Yeah.
that the audiences are obviously just responding with, like, we didn't need a sequel to that.
Yes.
Now, this sequel has been made. It has a confusing premise.
Yeah.
God knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I think the history, like the future of Hollywood, everything rests on Jumanji the next level. I think if it hits, then Hollywood can be like, okay, all
We're fine.
right. Some things still make sense. The last movie was a hit. This is a hit. Thank God.
Yeah.
If it doesn't hit, I think Hollywood's going to be like, you know what? That's it.
It's
Close up
not-
shop.
None of it makes sense.
Right.
I
I don't know. We still
kind
got
of
cats.
agree with
That's true. We do have cats.
both come out on Christmas.
Yes, both come out on Christmas.
The
It's
cats
like
always
some
come out within a
witch's
week
curse.
of each other.
Right.
They are cats.
They are cats.
Yeah. They sing.
are-
They sing.
They sing.
That's true.
I think Cats is going to do really well.
Of course. 100%. Because it's going to have
Well, now I've got like morbid curiosity.
Right,
I'm
morbid
like, what the
curiosity
fuck?
That's
factor.
what's
And
gonna
then
push it
two,
over the top.
The other people who like cats. Isn't
Horny
that a thing?
motherfuckers who've
Exactly.
been taking trips to see cats.
I feel like
for
this is
decades.
extremely
Now,
disrespectful to
Griffin.
cats.
No, it's not. You cannot disrespect that.
No.
musical.
I
It
mean
is.
to the animal.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
guess
agree.
so.
Because
That's
again, also they're not sized right. You'll talk about it. It's fine.
They,
But they're the size of
the
like
size
mice.
that they are is.
It's also
They made this big
inscrutable.
furniture. They make a big to do about
They
this
didn't
furniture.
make shit. It's all fucking computer.
It's also it's
They
very
showed it to
misogynist.
us in
like
a
small
featurette.
soldiers.
It's a little like Small Soldiers.
It's like kind of that.
And
They're too
you
small.
know, I think so much of this pushback to the Cats trailer is misogynistic because all cats are girls and all dogs are boys.
I mean, the cats do have boobs.
They do.
They
or
do
baps.
have boobs.
They got their baps
They got
out.
they got their baps out. It's
The
that's
bap.
one of the many choices in that trailer that alarmed me. I would say.
What else was it?
I don't know. The fact that we'll say this on the Lion King episode, but the fact that Jennifer Hudson looks like Salazar from Pirates of the Caribbean, where her face is like half completed.
Or Drake during the Sprite commercial.
Well, yeah,
My favorite poll.
where they were just like, "Can you fit her face on that cat thing?" And they were like, "Not really." And they were like, "Well, it looks fine. I don't know." What are they going to cite us for realism? It's not like anything else in this makes sense.
Okay, number 5 Kirsten Dunst movie.
Give me it.
So it's not Jumanji.
Nope.
Jumanji.
And Jumanji did like 100.
Jumanji is her other 100 million. She has 6
Right.
that made over 100, and Jumanji is the 6th, but there's also a 5th.
Is she above the title on this?
No.
She's not.
Don't think so.
How deep in the cast is she?
I would say 5th. She is probably the best performance in it, though. Maybe second best.
Oh, Interview with a Vampire.
She's so good in that.
She is.
She's so.
That was
tiny
that.
and
That
so
was the
scary.
performance where people were like, "This has to be a major star."
Yeah,
Because
never
like,
seen that movie.
it was sort of the Haley Joel Osment thing, where it's like, for her to have this kind of poise at age 10, like
And-
she must be a fucking talent.
sharing
She's
the screen.
Terrifying in it.
She's terrible.
Yeah, with
because you know,
Christian
Christian
Cruz.
Slater.
you know,
yeah.
Stephen Ray. I love Stephen Ray. Because she's supposed to be like she's just
Right.
locked in that body forever.
Right.
you
There's
know.
a tweet I think about like every week from Lindsay Barr, AP film critic Lindsay Barr,
Of course.
from like 2016, I think, where she was like, "When is Kirsten Dunst going to get like the cult icon like status that like Winona Ryder has, like
Yeah.
the same kind
Right.
of thing?" I feel like she is like about there now.
She's inching there. I mean, marrying Jesse Plemons, I feel like a lot of people enjoy that sort of like,
Yeah.
you know, her and
the only
Fargo.
extremely blonde family I trust. That's a blonde family.
It's a blonde ass.
Also, here's the difference, I think, between
Winona.
Winona and
Yeah.
Kiki.
Winona is obviously one generation prior.
Well, and
Yes.
this is, I think, the big shift of this generation. I think Kiki's doing great work now.
Love
she's
it.
kind of at the best she's ever been, just in terms of pure craft.
Mhm.
That new show she has coming out looks like a ton of fucking fun to
on
me.
Becoming a God in Central Florida.
Yeah, I'll watch anything she's
she wears
doing.
braces.
Yeah,
Right.
into it, right?
Mhm.
I think she's like the first person to movie star to sort of fall victim to franchise culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
She
Winona
found her way
had
out of it.
more Winona movies.
Yes.
I think that's why she has that status, because she was so much this like avatar for people, and there was like a grouping of them.
Right. Kiki has one definitive Kiki Dunst movie. Bring it
Ooh.
on.
Yeah,
Like that's
Oh.
the movie that was like a hit that she is the face of, that everybody saw, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously she has like Crazy Beautiful or whatever, like her weirder, less pop. But
But
like
the
those
post-
were more
the post
Video
Spider-Man
move, you know.
pre sort of comeback movies are rough. Like everything between like the Spider-Mans and Melancholia is like
When was Eternal Sunshine?
Wimbledon.
2000.
Eternal Sunshine's the one
Masterpiece.
outlier, which she's great in.
She's amazing.
That's a hard
Yeah.
part, and she's so good in
She's
it.
so
Same
good.
thing with Bring
She's
It
my
On.
winner.
That's a hard
Yeah.
part. I feel like it's
Bring
like
It
on the
I haven't
level
seen
of
Bring
like
It On in a long time, but she's great.
it mostly holds up, and I feel like she does what kind of like Reese Witherspoon does in Legally
Yeah.
Blonde, where like that part could have been like
I totally agree with that.
it could have been
Yes.
fine, and
Yeah.
both of them like show so much intelligence in it. That,
And that's like souffle work that like no one
Yes.
gives credit to, because it's like really light and it's tasty, but it's
Souffle work.
souffle work. That's
Love
a good
that.
term,
Love
right?
that.
It's
Love
difficult
that.
to fucking make.
Here's her post Eternal Sunshine Spider-Man 2 career.
Wimbledon comes out the same year as Spider-Man 2.
Done.
I'm sorry.
Wimbledon.
Fucking Americans. Elizabethtown.
Right. Oh, jeez.
Marie Antoinette. She's good in that.
Uh-huh.
And obviously that's a good choice. Spider-Man 3. Okay,
Right.
she's doing great. How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. Okay, why'd you do that? 2-year break.
Alienated people,
What's
would you
going on
say?
with Kiki Dunst?
Yeah.
Yeah, she fucking alienated people.
Yeah.
All Good Things, which was that like Robert
Robert
Durst
Durst movie.
that like wasn't that also like long delayed? Like it
Yeah.
came out a long time after they shot it,
Yeah.
right?
We do not talk enough about the fact that
That
before
Ryan
making The
Gosling
Jinx.
played Robert Durst.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and that was Jarecki's film. That's why he knew Durst. That's why he like had an in with Durst.
And then Durst was like,
Yikes.
"Well, do
The-
a documentary.
The
about
inciting incident for The Jinx is Robert Durst calling up Drake and going like, "I saw that movie of yours."
me." Then Melancholia, and it's like, oh, she's
Right.
back.
Yeah.
Where had she been?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, she's been having a tough time.
What's going on?
Rehab, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
she was
addiction
drinking a lot.
problems,
Oh,
you know.
damn.
And then since then, yeah, she's just sort of been like in and out. Like, you know what I
She's
mean?
like very
Fargo.
good in Bachelorette. She's
Good
great
in
in
Bachelorette,
Fargo.
Bachelorette, she's so good in
She
Bachelorette.
pops up in things like Midnight Special and Hidden Figures.
Oh, I thought she was very good in
And you're
that
like,
special.
oh, here's
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst. She's good. And then The Beguiled was, I feel like the first time it's like
Yeah.
lead performance from Kirsten
Yes.
Dunst, kind of.
Again. Yeah. You know, Hidden Figures, I think she doesn't get enough credit for playing that role with zero interest
In being redeemable.
Yeah.
There's always
without being mustache twirly. I'm like, this is like
that
a
movie is fun. That movie
movie's
is
fun.
very charming.
Yeah.
But it is that character. I mean, I always joke about in Belle. That's the Belle trailer.
yeah.
The Tom Felton character, where it's like some people are like, well, I don't know, and some people are like, well, I like her, and one guy's like, well, I'm a racist and I think it's bad because of racism.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he's the racist. He represents racism.
That character is not written well.
No.
But I think she, just as an actor, what's given her, she avoids both doing mustache twirly.
Yeah.
And she avoids trying to because Kevin Costner is very good in that movie, but he famously came in and was like, I think you should believe in her.
I think you should be nice and not do anything bad.
Right.
And you should tear that sign down.
And
That
she's-
And there should be
scene.
more like
Yeah.
ostensibly nice white ladies who are just like awful racists. 'Cause
She's-
that's just the reality of
Mhm.
things.
She's not protective of her movie star image at all in that movie, because it would have been easier for her to try to make her redeemable or to make her more villainous, where it's like, I'm nothing like this
Yeah.
woman.
I definitely think she doesn't care about her movie star image anymore.
Yeah, which
like
is
that's
cool.
not a consideration.
All right. Bring It On is her number 7. Give me her last 3.
Small Soldiers?
Small Soldiers is 9.
God, I can't believe Small Soldiers didn't make 100.
No, I made 54, baby.
I know.
Did it make 100 worldwide? Let's
I
find
don't
out.
think so. I think it probably ended up
Doesn't
like
even have a
86.
worldwide total
Oh,
listed.
geez. Okay. Okay, so Small Soldiers number 9. I need
Small
to guess
Soldiers,
the 8 and the 10.
Big movie, middling box office.
Okay. Big action. Small Soldiers. The other two, are they lead performances, or are they ensembles?
One's an ensemble. The other is an ensemble.
They're both ensembles.
Yes.
And from what eras? From what decades?
One's from 2003 and one's from 1994.
1994, 20.
So one's like teen Kiki and one is
Oh,
like 20-something Kiki. Well, go on.
no.
Go on.
No, Teen Kiki. Do you think you got the teen or the 03?
I feel like maybe the teen.
Shoot.
Is it Little Women?
That's right.
Little Women.
Oh,
Little Women.
good call. Good call.
She's young enough that she plays young Amy, and pretty much everyone else plays themselves as the older ones,
Right.
but she's not. They get an
She's
older
too
Amy
young.
because she's too young, and it
Yeah.
would have been weird with Christian Bale. It would have been bad.
Yeah. No, that's a good call.
She's really good in that too, and
You
Amy
know-
sucks.
That's an actress I like a lot who I kind of miss.
Who? Christian Bale?
Trini Alvarado.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
I liked her a lot. Just anytime you watch a 90s movie and you're like, what happened to this actress who was in 8 big movies and then turned 30 and they never hired ever again?
Nope.
She showed up on one episode of Private Practice or whatever. Okay, wait. So the other one's from 03.
Yep.
Mona Lisa Smile?
Bingo. There you go.
That was like, do you remember when they were like, this thing can't miss? You got Dunst. You got Gyllenhaal.
Julia Roberts, museum tours.
Yeah.
Mike Newell.
Right.
This thing's gonna make $141 million. Actually,
Yeah. Really?
Quite a lot.
I just feel like
Nostalgia.
Worldwide.
Never.
they were like, she's got this girl group and it's the next 4 biggest stars.
Dunst, Goodwin.
Yeah.
Who else is in it?
Gyllenhaal, right?
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
And who's the
Gyllenhaal.
4th one?
Paz de la Huerta. No, I don't know. I
feel like it was a
Julia
4th
Stiles. Julia Stiles.
Yeah,
Styles.
it was like these are the 4 like kind of. I mean, I feel like Gyllenhaal, Dunst, and Stiles were in similar positions at that point, where it's like they've had hits on their own, they've had like critical acclaim.
Teen stuff.
Yeah. They're
Let's
probably
not
gonna-
forget that Dominic West is in that movie.
Let us not.
Topher Grace.
Yeah.
Tori Amos.
Let's not forget that Mona Lisa smiled.
She smells like this. Like
David's doing a really good impression of. I can't.
It's like a raised
believe-
eyebrow situation.
This is
too. It's
your
nice.
best impression, David.
leave it to the listener
Can
to
I take
imagine
a photo? You don't, or do you want to not have it leak?
Yeah,
out?
no.
Okay.
No, I don't know. The mystery might be fun
Okay.
to preserve. I don't think the
Try doing it, and I'll decide whether or not to release it. But you got to make eye contact with me because that's the.
Mona Lisa smiling.
Yeah. David's doing his impression of the Mona Lisa.
Ben left for 5 minutes for Mona Lisa smiling.
Anyway, yeah, we're done.
Okay, good. Framke, anything else you want to talk about? Any other business you brought to the table today?
Look, man, I don't know. I got nothing. I'm just like,
Classic
we're
summer
done. Kiki's
Friday.
just a
We're
nice-
done. Kiki rules.
Nice
a
girl.
nice,
Made Ben cry.
fun movie about a nice
A lot.
girl
Yeah,
making the most
Make
of
them
things.
cry a lot.
yeah.
A
You're
lot, a
you're
lot.
ready to ankle this skiing.
Yeah, you're ready to ankle this one.
I'm ready to what?
Variety talk. Variety. They ankle skeins.
Oh, I don't know.
Did some
trade
Bavo
shit.
podcast.
I'm a
biz.
bad trade writer. I'm like, well,
Does Variety have a term for
Guess you won't be ankling
podcasts?
any skeins right now.
just
Yeah, I don't know. Knob
Yeah,
button. I don't.
yeah.
not. Yeah, we're done.
You definitely just looked at my equipment to come
Yeah,
up with
knobbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Table,
Signed up for a
Chair.
knob, a
Life.
new 12 episode knobber.
wall, microphone.
I don't know. Just like, thanks for having
Anyway.
me. This was nice.
Yep.
I just like it's nice to come on about a nice movie after the
yeah.
last time.
Hell,
It's like a
Uh,
nice,
right,
wholesome, good
right.
movie
Yeah.
about a nice girl.
God, that movie makes me so uncomfortable.
Showgirls. Yeah.
I'm just like thinking about it again. It's like there are few movies I like that I hate watching that much. You know?
And I feel like there's always some like revisiting of, oh, did it have some merit? Whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's so.
How do
Yeah.
you write a dance?
How do you write a
I
dance?
don't get it.
I mean, I
Ask Chip Smith.
yeah, Chip Smith.
Remember, he was on the show. That's where that was his origin. The
Yeah, but-
Showgirl episode.
Have you been
Showgirl.
talking with him? You're gonna ask him?
I had a weird dream about him, but that was it.
Weird.
I don't know. He was just sitting in a chair that was on fire.
Where did you get the Miyazaki book?
I don't know. Turned up on my doorstep.
Because I've noticed that sometimes it breathes. Thank you all for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe. Thanks to Ange Fergudo for our social media. Joe Bunn and Pat Rounds for artwork. Liam Montgomery for a theme song. Go to blankiesIread.com for some real nerdy shit. TeePublic for some real nerdy shirts. Go to Patreon where we're only 15 movies away from finishing the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Caroline, do you have anything to plug? Read all your work on Variety.
Read me on Variety. Find me on Twitter at Caroline Framke. I tweet a lot of stupid shit. I'm rewatching Lost
Hey,
for the first
good
time.
shit.
For the first time.
The
You're
first
watching
rewatch. or
No,
the first
actually,
watch?
She's
yeah,
never
the first
seen
watch.
it.
I've never
Wow.
seen it.
Okay.
So come find
She's
me.
a dumbass.
How are you enjoying it?
You know what? More than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I hate Jack so much.
Really? How far into it are you?
14 episodes, baby.
Okay.
It's amazing how little I know about Lost.
Who's your favorite character?
Hurley. Vincent.
okay.
Vincent the dog.
Hurley.
Very
Yeah.
concerned for Vincent.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be fine.
Yeah. But anyway,
No
come talk to
spoilers.
me about Vincent the dog.
Ah.
That's about all I got.
Well, so what? This episode's dropping October?
No, not that late. October.
When's this episode dropping?
Let me check the spreadsheet.
I'm just wondering if by the time this episode drops,
September 8th.
If by the time this episode drops, Caroline will have met Nikki and Paolo.
Oh,
This might be
depends
a
how
great
fast you
time
walk.
to follow Framke and get those Nikki and Paolo takes. in real time.
Expose.
Has anyone prepared you
Fresh
for Nikki
impression.
and
I
Paolo?
have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, get ready. Follow Framke. Follow Framke.
One of the wildest things that ever happened.
I'm the best TV critic. I know all about TV.
Yep. Get ready.
All right.
And as always, you'll get sad eventually.